Yeah. And then, wait, it's missing in yours too.
Oh, it is.
Because then there's something in between the occlumency from now on. There's sentences, and then the week did not improve. Yeah.
Can you play it again?
And this is Jim Dale's reading.
Yeah.
Right? Narrate.
It doesn't make any sense why they would delete that.
So it was like it was actually like a minute. Let me see.
Taken aback. You're supposed to be learning how to close your mind to this sort of thing, said Hermione, suddenly stern. I know I am, said Harry, but, well, I think we should just try and forget what you saw, said Hermione firmly. And you ought to put in a bit more effort on your occlumency from now on. Harry was so angry with her that he did not talk to her for the rest of the day, which proved to be another bad one. When people were not discussing the escaped Death Eaters in the corridors today, they were laughing at Gryffindor's abysmal performance in their match against Hufflepuff. The Slytherins were singing Weasley is our king so
I'm almost
loudly and
positive that's in
frequently that by sundown,
the illustrated version.
from the corridors out of sheer
Do
irritation.
you have it?
Should I check?
Yeah, it's right behind you.
Improve as it progressed.
I feel like I remember reading that.
It's like a chunk.
Whole paragraph.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
And it gives like more insight to like the
Yeah.
tone of the environment.
Yeah.
That's really annoying that they would take that out.
But then I was like, what the heck? And I'm
Be
like,
careful,
what am
Danny.
I?
Be careful.
Yeah, I can't look any
Oh.
farther, but I'm in the right chapter.
I was like, you should have had me do it. I like little spoilers. Breadcrumb trails. Breadcrumb? Yeah. You know?
I feel like I remember reading that, but maybe I'm just delusional.
You remember that one line? Those 3 lines?
For some, yeah. I remember. Well, it's one of those things I like remember what, like where it was on the page. I feel like reading that.
You have photographic memory.
No, it's not photographic memory. That's like,
Yeah, it is.
no. I
If
feel like
you were-
everyone
if
can do
you
that.
can
The-
picture
that's
the
the
page?
Well, if you remember something
I mean,
like
I
that
can
you've read in
do
the book,
that,
yeah,
but
you can do that.
I thought that was.
I don't, but that's not with everything. For some reason, I remember it because it was Weasley as our
It's Harry
king.
Potter.
Yeah, it's because
You
Harry Potter.
remember
I
everything.
memorized
Yeah, but
every line
Weasley
of
is our
Harry
king
Potter.
isn't another part of this chapter
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking of.
But
Zachary, I
it
did.
It's not in here.
It's not. No, I
See?
don't have a photographic memory then. There you go. Cheers, guys.
What is this then?
I'm delusional.
He was.
But I feel like that content
He was trying to
elsewhere.
brag about it.
So
Yeah,
I'm feeling
I know,
like
right?
They must have just rearranged.
I was like,
that.
my version has it. It
I
doesn't.
remember that
Just
word for
yeah.
word.
Remember where it was in the book.
But you literally
the
might
best
be able to
is that
find
I
it.
said this is 389 too.
Maybe I read it in a different book.
I need glasses for reading
Which
now
book?
too.
I don't know.
How many
I gotta
versions
find
are
it.
there?
Jim
I've read it
Dale's
in 5
book.
different versions, everyone. I know
Jim
Jim Dale's
Dale's book.
original copy.
Maybe this was the original script, and
Yeah, there you go.
maybe we're missing
Um,
things.
Sorry, guys.
There's other things missing in the back of this chapter
I
too.
know. Which is wild.
so
That's like a
crazy.
little bit
Oh,
of
wait,
a
I think
bummer
I
that
wrote-
it's missing all that stuff.
Like, what is he reading it from?
The back of that couch is a pretty good rest. It's not great, but it's a pretty good
Yeah.
like arm or a thing rest. You can put it on the book. Put it on like put the book
Nice.
or no, put the illustrated version because it's like a good.
That's
It's
risky,
alright.
John.
It's all right. It's all right. I trust you.
Oh my goodness, I don't
That's
trust
a lot of
myself.
trust.
That was
That's-
like bad.
I do that with my water all the time when I read over there. And it works pretty well as long as you're not moving like crazy.
I was gonna
Danny's
say,
so
don't-
I don't know about this. One false move. Oh, you want to try this?
Or right on the window ledge right there. So you're
Yeah,
not
I think that's
leaning
what I
all the way
have to do.
Also,
It's not
sorry,
worth risking
Yeah,
the
but
illustrated
you're
version.
better than
Zachary.
I'm like,
I do see all of your guys' comments right above that, and I realized that I set the stream up for a day early. So I just, when everyone gets here, I need to issue a full long apology. for that.
Zachary.
We're all okay.
I know. I threw it up on the
Nimbus
Reddit,
2000.
but I guess I made it earlier tomorrow or
If we
yesterday.
come close with this. Oh,
I know,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
What is that? Which one is that called again?
The Nimbus 2000.
The Nimbus 2000 beer, a fruity beer.
Is our second
I'll
commercial.
actually see if that works. Yeah.
By 420 North Brewing Company.
Huh. What about, is it a Nimbus 2000 or the Nimbus 2001?
This is the Nimbus 2000.
Do they have a Nimbus in Nimbus
Maybe.
2001?
Maybe.
It's black. It's a black.
Do you like it?
Like the movies.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, do you like it?
It doesn't look like a beer. It looks like a smoothie.
It does look like a smoothie.
Right?
It's really thick.
Apparently, those are some kind of beers. I
Is it
didn't even know
thick?
that existed.
Smoothie
Yeah.
beers?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty thick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like consistency.
The trendy beers these days
are so tasty they don't even taste like beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They
kind of
just
true.
have the calories.
Looking for a sweet drink full of calories that makes you feel fun?
I know we should start doing
That makes
ads
you
just for other
feel
companies.
funny.
Yeah, it makes you feel a little weird.
Like you're
one for
flying on a
Bombas.
Nimbus 2000. That's what it makes you feel like.
Ooh, nice.
Someone came up. Oh, someone emailed me. Christina emailed me, and she was like, "The best name for a brewery is Polyjuice." I was like,
That's so
That's
simple and
Right
so
up your
clever.
alley.
Polyjuice.
Yep,
You're
You're
obsessed
obsessed
with
with
polyjuice.
Polyjuice, yeah.
I know.
that's the one.
There's so many drinks in the Harry Potter universe too. I'm sure if there's a bar out there that's like a Harry Potter themed
Yep.
bar. Polyjuice, very
There was
That
like a
was so
coffee
fun.
shop that
Yeah.
has flavored coffee drinks.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was out.
My idea, we can have a whole
I forget
Harry
what it
Potter
was
menu.
called.
Oh,
But they
yeah,
had
the Muggles mug.
Muggles mug.
Yeah.
what it's
Oh,
called?
and there
That's
was the
cute.
one at Peddler's Village, but that was
right.
different. And that was like all sorts of witchcraft, not just Harry Potter.
It's just Harry Potter nerd communities.
But it was still awesome.
The
Yeah,
Muggles mug,
Renee,
though. That
sorry.
one was cool. If anyone's in
It's cute. I like
PA,
that name.
they probably already know about it, though, if you're in
Yeah.
PA.
Everyone watching the stream, my formal apology. I should like look into the camera and issue a formal apology. I was setting up
into
the
the camera.
stream. Huh?
I said, look into the
I know.
camera.
All right, fine. I was setting up the stream yesterday afternoon, and apparently I just didn't pick the day. I just accidentally picked the day early. So sorry about that. I'll probably keep apologizing throughout it, but I feel very bad.
You didn't want
We're
it to
here
be
now.
March. You wanted it to be February, last day in February.
Yeah.
That was
No.
your thing.
I know. I saw all your guys' comments above. Half you guys were like, anybody know any like information that we can contact them at? You guys are the best. That made me feel
At
so loved.
firsttimereaders@gmail.com.
I know exactly. This email, it's always up on my phone. Firsttimereaders@gmail.com. Probably, or just Reddit. If one of you goes on Reddit and then sets either a post or a, if you just message me on Reddit, my name is Dun Me Hammy. That's if you know. So not really a long story where it comes from, but
But a niche reference
we
all the
don't
same.
know.
niche reference. Yeah. Huh?
Bluey.
Bluey.
Oh,
When they're playing Keepy Uppy.
Mm-hmm.
I never watched any
Great
Bluey.
episode.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
man. Okay, I need to get my bearings about me. I'm all thrown off that I set the stream wrong.
Apologizing is really hard.
Apologizing is hard.
It is. I'm sorry,
It
guys.
is.
That's a fact.
And then on the live stream, forget about it.
All right. What's a good intro?
Valentine's Day date.
I have so many questions about that. So many. We're just gonna sit down and talk about our lives on this podcast.
Goodness.
You want Hermione's perspective? We're here
Yes.
for you, John.
Wow.
No,
Nice.
my whole
here
thing.
for
My,
you.
half of the questions in this chapter are: is Harry really that like? What did he do wrong?
You know what's funny?
I'm just gonna ask you guys, like,
Wait.
how thick was he?
Oh, that's what I thought. I was like, these guys are going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
I have no idea what went wrong. And
And
I'm
Harry's
like, so
perspective, I was like,
obvious.
he's an idiot. He's stupid. But I'm like, it's
Yep.
not overtly obvious to the point where he should know everything that he did wrong.
Yes.
You don't think Cho is in the wrong for half of this
No.
stuff?
She has to communicate.
Yeah,
Well,
it was.
yeah, yes. But you
Right.
don't
But they're high
announce
school.
halfway through a date that you're meeting another girl.
Agreed.
That was the biggest-
dumbest,
That
Yeah.
set everything
dumbest
off.
move off Harry. on
Would you?
Harry's part.
Yeah, because you guys
No
wouldn't
doubt.
do that.
But at the
No.
same time, can guys and girls really be friends with each other
Great
in a
question.
platonic way?
Yeah.
Apparently, they can't.
From a girl's
With- Are
perspective,
you
if
saying
you're
between
like
Harry and
one-on-one.
Hermione?
Yes.
But they are.
Cho, exactly. Cho
No, wait,
should
he's
know that
saying
they're
from the
friends.
Cho, yeah.
And Cho is
from
accusing them
Cho's
of
yeah.
not being able to
Oh.
be friends because he's just hanging out with a girl.
Yep.
If he said, come with me and hang out with Ron, she might put up a fight.
But
because
he
he's
also didn't word it in a friendly, like they're friends. It's like confirming. She probably thinks,
Yeah.
they're friends. But when you're saying, oh, I have to meet with Hermione if you want to come, like then it sounds like, oh, so you had a date with Hermione. Are you guys more than friends now?
Yeah.
Because you just have to clarify it. You just say, yeah, my friend Hermione, we
Yeah.
hang out all the time. she needs something important. Like,
Yeah.
can you
And it just
come
hurts
with
a
me?
little bit because it's like you want the attention on you.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
like, oh, we're just going to go meet
Agreed.
another girl. It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Like Cho's like a third wheel in this party right now.
Right.
Right.
Harry's wording was terrible. Agreed.
Yeah.
But that was the worst of his sins in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
There was such a lack of communication. That was the thing that annoyed me the most.
I was more offended by her reaction.
Well, she
Over the line.
She got really hurt. And then she went below the belt a little bit
Yeah.
with her comments.
Well, because then I was like, wait, was she ever even interested? Or was this
Yeah.
all just about
Yes.
Cedric? Or was she trying to like punch below the belt? I was like, what's the deal? It made me question. I'm still a little bit questioning. Or like, was her goal to talk about Cedric the whole time, regardless of what Harry
I
said?
don't think so.
Was she going to bring that up and start crying and go through that? Or was that only a response to Harry being a little clueless?
I think it was a response.
Yeah.
All right. She was in a vulnerable
Wanted
spot.
to get back at him.
That's fair. And that's why
Yeah.
she talked about snogging with Roger. Or, oh, no, with Cedric is what Harry said. But then how she turned Roger Davies down
Yes.
for the date.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, goodness, fire with fire.
Yeah, I know.
Escalation.
So
They're in
Harry
high
is-
school, too.
Here's my thing.
True.
Cho is a lot more intelligent than Harry, and she played to Harry's level
Yes.
in ways that really frustrated me.
Well, because
When
she
it's
got
with your
hurt.
heart, though,
yeah,
know.
agreed.
You know, like,
Agreed. But
reason goes out the
she
window
should be smart
sometimes.
enough to know that Harry's so much of an idiot that he just
He's agreeing.
yeah,
He has thoughts.
that he's so much of an idiot that he didn't really mean anything harmful by saying he was going to spend time with Hermione.
But
Cho then stabs him in the side by saying, "Oh, Roger Davies, I got asked by him. I came here with Cedric the other day." Wes, you're being a little wild.
But remember how it all started? Cho mentioned Valentine's Day. Harry
Yes.
didn't catch the first hint.
Yeah.
She walks away like, oh, okay, whatever. And then he comes and chases her. So it already was a little like, does Harry even want to go with me? Or
Yeah.
did I just force him to ask me out?
Yeah.
So then now you're at the date and he's like, I'm going to meet with Hermione. So now she's like, yeah, I'm right. I forced him to
That's a
ask
great
me
point.
out.
Yeah.
He's going to go meet Hermione. And now, yeah, that guy over there that's smooching with whoever, I was supposed to go on a date with him.
Their
So-
I was going to
communication.
see how he was going to react.
Yeah. Their communication is
I
so
could
bad
see-
though.
Harry's is
Hers
just
too.
so, but he's so clueless.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
He's like beyond clueless to a point where it's actually unhelpful.
I
But
mean,
that's
it's not
why
fair,
I
I
don't
guess.
blame him as much because he's clueless.
Yeah.
But Cho
Yeah.
knew what
Well,
she was doing.
To me, it was
and
both.
just did it.
But does
Yeah.
Cho know? Like, Cho is super intelligent. I think she does know what she wants. But when she's on this date, we're going to talk about at length what Harry should have responded. What his response should have been when Cho brings up Cedric initially. Like, because I just need practical advice if someone brings up the death of someone they loved on a date or something like that, or something super traumatic.
Right.
How do you respond?
Because
immediately
it's
after
like
that?
that's such a vulnerable thing. It should be a good thing in a weird way. But Harry wasn't ready.
I know Harry was not ready, and Wes is about to tear my arm off.
I was like, you're doing pretty good. Like, I thought I'd be across the room by now.
Well, yeah,
And
we need
serious
to.
blood.
We're gonna do a deep dive into their date because I have so many questions. Just like hypothetical questions
that are really
about love that I
hypothetical.
can pick your guys' brains on. But I just wanted to say one thing too before you open the podcast. Danny's prediction of
Oh
The
my
plant.
goodness. When I read that, my jaw dropped.
I was dying too. I was like,
I thought I was going wild when I was making that prediction. I didn't think it was really going to play out like that. And I totally missed the thing that Bodhi Broderick was the target, not the other people in his room.
yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness. That was wild. And I feel like we still didn't really get the conclusion because did it say they couldn't find someone afterwards? Like they couldn't find him or they couldn't find...
something with an A. What was that lady's name or person's name? What is going on?
Wait, what? Oh, Avery?
Well, yeah, Avery
Yeah.
they couldn't find, but
Who is A? Do you know who Avery is? Do you have like a timeline and like all the chronological order?
for
of
a
things?
split second, I thought it was Mr. Diggory, and then I was like, oh wait, no, that's Amos.
Amos.
All right, cool. But no, I couldn't think if we've met an Avery before.
I was like, I didn't know where you were in your chapter, so I texted Kristen, and then I was like, Danny's gonna know.
No, you know, although after reading that, I thought I really should have. I've got my history of wizards. I should have like the who's who of wizards.
You're
because then
literally-
every character. Because I'm even
You're
thinking
gonna
of.
write down every wizard you encounter.
Yeah,
That
it
would be
wouldn't be
great
that
for
bad.
me.
From the beginning, it wouldn't be bad, but
Who's
now it
who?
would be hard. But even just keeping track of like the repeat characters who don't come up that often, but like Justin Fletchley, he keeps coming up, and I'm like, wait, I think he's a Hufflepuff, but I'm not sure. What year would he be? So things like that. It'd be so nice to be able to just look alphabetically and find someone. And then I would know right away if we've seen an Avery before.
And all the Hufflepuffs are if there's someone who's a boring name for a character, it's a Hufflepuff, almost guaranteed. I think she does a really good job of differentiating things like that, like Justin Finch-Fletchley, Justin, Hannah Abbott, Ernie. Boring names. They're all Ernie's kind of a fun name.
Yeah, Ernie's
but then
pretty
you have like
They're
Cho,
not boring names.
Padma, Luna.
And that's
those are
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaws.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then the weird names: Crabbe, Goyle, Malfoy, Pansy,
Slytherin?
are Slytherins.
What's Gryffindor?
Those are just like kind of average, but a little more fun than Hufflepuffs. Like Harry and Ron are boring. Dean, who is an absolute idiot
Hermione,
for one line in the chapter that we'll like Hermione, that's a
forgot
kind of a
which
fun
one
name.
those.
The Gryffindors, I think, are just so familiar that you don't really, you just already know who all Gryffindors are. It's the other houses that need differentiating. But great call on.
I was right not to trust that plant.
I know.
Ugh, lives could have been
When you just
saved.
throw out like, it would be so funny if something happened and then it happens.
Because that was a side note that you mentioned. 'Cause
It
I
was at
like,
the end.
anything
Any
else in
other
this
notes?
chapter?
And I'm like, yeah, you know what? This funny thing.
As soon as he started to say that, I was like, he's going to talk about the plant, isn't he? And then everyone in chat started going wild because we were mentioning that plant. And they were like, no way. There was one point where I typed in chat, I was like, does Danny... Oh, I was a little skeptical. Does Danny actually have... Did he read this before? And is he just playing a big game with us?
Because it was too
Because
specific.
it was so good.
And you know what? I was like,
Came
even
out of
in the
nowhere.
next chapter, I was like, how did Neville not see this? This doesn't even make sense. So then I
know.
went back and listened to that conversation during the episode. And you even said it right then. You're like, he was in the middle of grief. He must
Yeah.
not have noticed.
Agreed.
But oh man, that was wild.
I know, that was... I do think that he was in not a good place. Like, Neville would recognize that in any other place but the current place that he was in.
And I think maybe I had hope with the situation. I didn't want to think it was a killing plant. I thought that was the funny theory. I really thought it was going to be something to help them escape. And I was trying to think about this bubblegum wrapper that she handed Neville. I thought there was going to be something more about them getting out. So then I was like, oh man,
But they
the
don't
plant was
think-
out to get him, not help him.
Neville's parents to get out?
Well, yeah, because his parents and Lockhart and Bodhi were all in the same area, the
But
same
they're
ward.
getting help while they're there.
Well, yeah, supposedly. But they also might be getting killed while they're there. And we don't trust the ministry. St. Mungo's is pretty connected in my mind. Like,
Well, that's what made me think
I
the
don't know.
like
I don't trust this thing.
caretaker or the healer.
Yeah.
I was like, she's playing dumb. Like she's actually maybe she caught. Remember, we're like, if we brought up the last podcast that she could be working for the Dark Lord and like, oh, come to this room and close the door behind you.
Oh, yes. Like, because the kids were all
with
alone.
Harry, Ron,
Yep.
and Hermione, and like Lockhart, like, let's put a bait out there, collect them, come in, and like.
It
do
seemed a little
something.
foolish for them to even go with her at all. But if she wanted to do anything with them, she missed her chance, I guess. But
That
still,
was a weird combo,
whole
though. It
thing.
was
scary.
Lockhart, the Longbottoms, and what was
And
his name?
Bodhi Broderick.
It was
And
a
that's
weird
it?
room.
Weird.
Yeah.
Powerhouse room.
But he was starting to get his memory back.
Yeah.
Or speaking back, or
Yep.
Which is why that he was killed, yeah.
Oof.
Lucius.
His information.
Malfoy.
Security was
I love
slacking.
these chapters because we finally feel like it's a feel good chapters to me because
Yeah.
it's like payback
Yeah.
for certain things from the ministry.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. By the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
A Dumbledore moment.
Dumbledore moment.
You gotta admit.
That
even
was
Phineas Nightjarvis
Yes!
even says it. You've gotta admit. Dumbledore's got style.
Oh yeah, that's the one. I was like, he's in the portrait. He was an old headmaster.
Yeah.
Okay, because I got a little confused listening in the
Like,
car.
who's in this room?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, that whole scenario was a little confusing. It was a little helter-skelter, but so good.
And then I was driving, so it didn't help.
People are
There was another
starting to
part.
finally get a little bit of payback, so it's kind of exciting.
There was another payback part. What was the other one? That was the Dumbledore one was huge, and then
Can't remember.
that's right. Maybe it'll come back to me.
The sneak,
Oh, that was good.
that was great.
And I love that
gosh, that's
Umbridge just
right.
doesn't even have magic. She can't do anything except be mean. She doesn't even know how to unjinx Hermione's
Wow.
I know.
spell. I was like, you, and then Harry like felt good about, oh yeah, Hermione's better than you.
Yeah. Satisfaction.
Anyway, welcome to the podcast. I'm John,
Jen.
Danny.
And Kristen.
and this is Harry Potter and the First Time
I
Readers.
shouldn't have.
You
I was
should have
thinking
said
you're
I'm
gonna
Jen.
burp your name.
I'll warm up and save
what
it.
did he
Like,
say?
go, John, go.
We all have
from
like
the
burp
kitchen.
moments in this. When I'm editing this podcast, guaranteed in one of the podcasts, either
Yep.
one of us is gonna burp and go, "Oops, sorry, excuse me." Most of the time it's you.
Thanks. Thanks for pointing
Yeah,
that
but
out.
I was like, as I'm saying my name and looking at you, I see it like.
It's coming.
I usually keep them in the podcast because they're fun. Little burps, little fun
Yeah,
moments.
I'm sure everyone loves
I
them.
thought you said you could never hear them. You lied to me.
No, but yours, I don't think would be.
Yeah. I heard Danny's editing
Mine
the podcast the other
definitely,
day.
yeah.
I never hear yours because you're always away from the mic or
I
something.
try to not do it into the mic.
Yeah, mine just snuck out.
All right, we are on chapter 25. Can one of you give me a summary
Some of you.
of the beetle at bay?
I already knew from the chapter title what was
She's
gonna
coming back?
happen.
Same.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done that.
Give one of your fun summaries.
Wow. Look
So
who's
you-
I don't
coming
have
around.
a fun summary.
Wow.
I just was like,
Your brain is the fun summary.
not for me. I feel like this is gonna smack me in the face. It's maybe not level anyway.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it Hermione? No, sorry. Ron. No, what? Yeah, someone else go.
10 people escape Azkaban.
I'm trying to say Harry. I said everyone but him.
She's got it, Harry.
The Longbottom's roommate is killed. Valentine's Day, Harry and Cho have we'll just say a bad time. And Rita is going to write Harry's story for the Quibbler, Luna's dad's newspaper. Or he's the editor. Maybe not his. But
Perfect.
Big chapter.
Yeah.
And what about Harry? What were you going to say?
I
Ron, Hermione,
wanted
Harry.
to start saying that Harry and Cho go on a date, but
Yep.
I literally, kept
It's Hermione
saying.
and then Ron.
I guess they're destined to be together.
This
because
specific chapter might just have to be
came
its own podcast because I have so many questions on this chapter.
Oh no.
out. Yeah, we already
Specifically
started.
with their date. We already started with a lot on their date, but I was trying to think. Did one of you two mentioned what the joy that Voldemort experienced in the previous chapter? We got it
Yeah.
answered in this chapter, but what did one of you two say?
I thought it was the weapon.
Okay,
And I was like
got the
very
weapon?
much like, oh yeah, he got the weapon.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't for a second
Did I
think it
go
could be
along
something
with
else.
that? I think I went along with it.
I think you might have. So
Probably.
the real reason he's happy is because of this mass breakout, right? What do you think of this mass breakout?
Craziness. I love Choi.
I didn't know if you were clearing your throat.
And like, I'm just annoyed about it.
Grunted. Jen saying choice. You can't think of a name. This is one of the best starts to a podcast we've ever had.
Why isn't the ministry addressing this?
Choi even come?
What? Jen's
Bok
not being
choy.
able to
Bok
talk.
choy. Joy.
Oh my. Okay. I want to say Choi again. What is her name? Cho. Oh my god.
No, why? Just
My brain wasn't working before, so now it's really great. Cho. made a comment that the Dementors were nowhere to be found, unlike when Sirius Black made an escape. And I was like, oh, that's such a great observation, because I didn't even notice that. So to me, I'm like, oh yeah, all the Dementors are on Lord Voldemort's side.
Well, kind of, but from the Ministry side, at the time when Sirius escaped, it was believed that he was after Harry. So the Dementors were all around to protect the students and Harry. But this time, 10 people escaped, and I don't think they have any reason to believe these people are headed for Hogwarts.
No, but it was just Hogwarts. I thought she made a comment that they were out on looking.
Just in general, out and about?
Yeah, and like they weren't this time. I could be wrong.
Oh, because Harry does make a comment about Hogsmeade, right? Like, shouldn't they be here in Hogsmeade? I forget what he said.
I know, I can't recall exactly.
Because I kind of thought that too, but the problem is nobody else mentions the Dementors. It doesn't come up in the news articles. Fudge doesn't say anything about it. No other teachers. Dumbledore.
But it's
like
also,
nobody's worried that Dementors aren't doing their job.
Because Dumbledore thinks that they're on the other side, so I feel like they're not going to come searching.
Did the Ministry ever
also,
address
10 people at once. It's like very rare
How'd they do that?
One gets out.
Yep.
I mean, it's a great scapegoat having Sirius Black be like, oh yeah, he taught him their ways out.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is not great because now he really can't go anywhere. Not that he really went anywhere.
Could they all be Animagi now? They had a lot of time in jail to work on their thing, though.
Yeah, but they have to collect things.
But I think it was mostly about like keeping that leaf in your mouth for a long time.
So they grabbed a leaf on their way into Azkaban and they kept it in their mouth.
One of their visitors brought it with them, maybe, or gave them a plant. I don't know.
I guess that makes sense.
Well, I'm just trying to think how they broke out. How do you think they did it? The Dementors let them out?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They like turned a blind eye, and they're like, or they give them the route. Like, okay, this is how you get out. We don't cover this corner at this time.
Could be.
I mean, maybe it's in rubble now because he just like destroyed it. Voldemort went over there and
just went there, guns blazing.
Because do you think
how many people are in Azkaban? Do we have an idea? Hundreds?
I don't know.
50?
That's a great question.
1,000?
There's, I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought you would know.
Stumped him.
I know.
It feels kind of
Anybody
good
else?
sometimes. Stumping.
But do you think that if Dumbledore were to go to Azkaban, he could break anybody out that he wants?
He made it sound like it'd be really easy for him to get out.
Yeah,
so
right.
Probably.
So Voldemort, it's kind of the same. So I'm assuming Voldemort just kind of went himself and broke those people out, and it was like, this is easy for him.
Right.
That's true.
Because him and Dumbledore are easily the two greatest wizards. Like, if you're doing a ranking system, number 1 Dumbledore, number 2 Voldemort. Some people can flip flop those, you know.
Ooh.
Depends.
And then do you throw Harry in there since he defeated Voldemort?
Who's like
twice,
3, 4, and
3
5?
times.
Because I think Harry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Harry's like, any of you played the game Stratego?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have really? No
Yeah.
way? Okay. You know the spy in Stratego? Harry to me is like the spy in Stratego, where he can take out Voldemort anytime that he wants, but he can't take out like if he dueled with Tonks or Moody.
True.
I feel like he'd get destroyed. Like if he dueled with Snape, he'd be done. You know, but he can take out Voldemort.
Wow. Yes, that's brilliant.
But I don't think any of them. I don't know who would be like the third best dueler, or the fourth or the fifth.
I mean, Kingsley does seem pretty legit.
Yeah.
He's in that position.
Serious.
And Sirius, yeah. He'd be pretty good.
Well, I haven't really seen his skills, but I'm thinking.
And he spent so much time in Azkaban. Did he have time to hone those skills?
Yeah. And some of these Azkaban breakout ease convicts, whatever you say, are probably pretty great duelers too. Convicts.
Klondikes?
Klondikes?
Klondike.
We're obsessed with food always on this
true.
podcast. No, all of us.
Oh, yeah.
We got like every little like
Always thinking about
nickname,
food.
and that's pretty
Wow.
great.
Oh, man. I found what you were saying before with the Dementors.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, she said, remember when Sirius Black escaped and there were Dementors all over Hogsmeade looking for him? So you're right.
Yeah, it wasn't. But that's not just Hogwarts property, right? Or
It's
like
nearby.
a
I mean, pretty
campus
close.
associated with it.
Well, just because the train station they go to is Hogsmeade Station. So it's like I think of it almost like campus, but
If
not
you
really.
guys play the video game with us, you'll get a clear representation of where all this stuff is.
I already said I'm not paying for that.
Just play in the room over there.
Yeah.
Kristen,
Well, you
where
can
are
stream
you?
it.
I
Make your
just
own
went to the
character.
bathroom.
I'm gone for an hour.
It was weird. I was telling Danny before this. I have images in the video game of where things are in my head now. It's replacing certain things that I had of the movies.
Oh,
The
interesting.
video game locations are now in my head for like
Is
almost
that
canon.
better?
It kind of is. I feel like it's a more built out world. Than
They do
the
a really
movies
good
do.
job with some of that. Yeah.
So it's kind of fun.
You guys never showed us
I know.
it.
Just watched my 5-hour stream.
Oh, that's yeah. Sorry, that's my problem.
One
I'm
of
not
like the 4 or 5
subscribed.
hours.
You're
streams that I
not
have to.
subscribed.
No, I don't do anything outside of here. Sorry, guys.
I don't partake.
Jen is just a talent. She doesn't subscribe to us. She
No!
doesn't listen to it. We just bring her in because she's the ringer.
I love
She's
to
a
hear
talent.
all this stuff. I just don't do any of that.
Fair.
Why was Bodhi assassinated? And who assassinated? Like we know the plant did it.
Oh, Bodhi. I keep calling him Bodhi.
Or Bodhi. You can call him Bodhi.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
He was an unspeakable. And it seems like
What's unspeakable?
works for the Department of Mysteries. I think anyone who works for that department is an unspeakable. I think.
Like a agent, FBI? No.
Yeah, maybe.
Undercover. What the heck?
Yeah, 00 agent,
you
you know,
just
licensed
not
to kill. I don't know.
I'm understanding you, Jen.
Yeah.
But I think
Like, yeah.
Voldemort used the Imperius to get him, or not Voldemort, Lucius Malfoy, to get him to steal the weapon. And he knew it wasn't going to work, but he kind of was forced to do it. And then he hit whatever the security measure for the weapon was. And that's what made him go nuts and think he was a teapot.
Mm-hmm.
That's my understanding. And then there was something, too, about Sturgis. They thought the same thing must have happened to him.
Yeah.
But that was a little more confusing, and that was only conjecture.
Yeah, the Sturgis one is a little different, so we'll talk about that one in a second. But there is another line. It goes, this latest decree had been the subject of a great number of jokes among the students. When she, wait, what is this? What was her rule? Oh, professors can't talk about anything other than the subject that they're assigned to teach.
Oh, that was
Ridiculous
great.
And it goes, Lee Jordan had pointed out to Umbridge that by the terms of the new rule, she was not allowed to tell Fred and George off for playing Exploding Snap in the back of the class. Exploding Snap's got nothing to do with offense against the dark arts professor. That's not information relating to your subject.
That made me so happy.
I know.
That was so
Yes.
When Harry next saw Lee, the back of his hand was bleeding rather badly. Harry recommended essence of Murtlap. That was another one of those moments. It's like the school is fighting back a little bit for her, where you feel like, oh, she's getting hers in small little doses.
Maybe that. There was something else.
There's a
that
few
made
other
it come
things,
up.
yeah.
But I was happy to know that it wasn't just Harry that had the
Oh, yeah.
scratching on the back of his hand, because I thought that was just Harry's punishment. Everyone else would have something, a lighter punishment.
honestly, I feel like that would be really effective if she just reserved that for Harry. That would have been almost more maniacal, where she like gives all the other students something else.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, okay, that's just what she does.
But she's just, yeah.
I just can't believe that's like allowed.
Should she be in prison? Should she be in Azkaban?
She should be more than that.
dead. Jen's gonna go to Hogwarts.
Wow.
And assassinate her.
I mean, everyone doesn't like her in this. Well, Danny.
Hmm.
Well, you were saying that people don't like this book because she's in it.
Yes.
So my brain's not working today. I forgot.
It's all right, Jen. This is top tier content.
Oh
You might not think it is, but this is great.
Yeah. Well, Jen looks like an idiot.
At
I
least
was
you
No.
can talk. I'm like, I got nothing going on up here.
That's because I just can't stop.
So we're a winner pair tonight.
All right, guys, take it away.
Should, like, if a teacher is torturing students like this in the real world, do they go to prison for it? It depends on what they're doing, I guess.
Yeah. But
it depends on how you define
the
torture.
police would be involved for
Yeah,
sure.
agreed.
Would they go to prison? I don't know.
But she is the police. She's the order office. She's everything.
both.
She is
That's
the
why
government.
she gets away with everything.
That's why it's so corrupt. But when all this is, we don't know if she's going to fully get hers in this book. And again, this is why some people are in agony over this book. But do you think if she does get hers at the end of this book that she'll go to prison?
I don't think that's good enough. I feel like they would do a spell where she goes insane. That would be more fitting.
Oh my. Talk about fire with fire.
She's just like...
Like even you didn't believe it.
She's like, did I
Did
really
I just say that?
Well, I'm just thinking like the long bottoms. Like it's like you're alive, but you don't really know what's going on.
Right.
So she's so annoying and so
That
mean.
she deserves
and
that.
So horrible. We fight fire with fire.
Yeah, she is pretty terrible.
I feel like she should be in solitary.
Yeah, solitary confinement. Yeah, absolutely.
There it is. I knew what you meant.
Teamwork. Yeah.
Wow,
Like
this is
in
gonna
a
be rough.
padded room.
With toads all around. A room full of toads.
There you go.
Yeah. They
24/7.
just transfigure her into a toad and just send her into the Forbidden Forest and never be untransfigured.
Or let all the half animals go take her away.
All the
And do whatever they want.
That was another great moment. Maybe this is the one you're
That's
talking
the
about.
one I was thinking of right
with-
before.
yeah.
He's like, welcome the new teacher for divination.
it's
And I was like,
half-breed.
yes!
So satisfying.
Oh, so good.
Amazing.
Here is another line. It goes, well, maybe Snape... This is a really important one I want to talk about for a little bit. It goes, maybe Snape isn't really trying to help Harry. Harry and Hermione stared at him. Ron looked darkly and meaningfully from one to the other. Maybe, he said again in a lower voice, he's actually trying to open Harry's mind a bit wider. Make it easier for Shut up, Ron, said Hermione angrily. How many times have you suspected Snape? And when have you ever been right? Dumbledore trusts him. He works for the Order, and that ought to be enough. He used to be a Death Eater, said Ron stubbornly. And we've never seen proof that he really swapped sides. Dumbledore trusts him, Hermione repeated. And if we can't trust Dumbledore, we can't trust anyone. Whose side are you taking here?
I flip
Ron's.
Ron's, really?
Yeah. Harry's been saying this whole time he doesn't feel like he's getting better. And it just feels inconsistent. And I'm seeing one of the things I underlined. Harry felt he was getting worse with every lesson. And I feel like that came up 2 or 3 times in these chapters where I'm like, is he helping? And I understand Hermione's side. I haven't made up my mind. But as I read, I'm leaning more Ron's side. So when he was saying this, I was like, yeah, Ron, point this stuff out. Talk this through, because what could he be doing? They don't understand this stuff a lot. So I'm like, could Snape be causing these dreams? Could Snape be doing research for Voldemort? Could all of these lessons be Snape's chance to make the connection stronger on purpose, or fish for a piece of information about something? I don't know.
But the only thing is,
sketchy.
why would he then allow Harry to see what Voldemort's up to?
I don't know, but it was weird. Oh no, that's because he might have been knocked out. I don't know, during their lesson later, thinking about, I don't know why. I don't know why he would allow that, but I also don't know if he can communicate with Voldemort. So if he's good, okay, that's one thing. But if he's bad, he has to make sure Dumbledore doesn't know he's bad. He couldn't really communicate with Voldemort without risking that. So
he's communicating through Harry.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking that, but maybe.
But,
I was more
how?
thinking it's possible Harry has spoken to Voldemort through, that whole incident at the end of the last book, or whatever Harry is seeing in his dreams is the closest thing Snape's getting to an update about what Voldemort is up to. So I was thinking he was almost using Harry as giving himself an update for a cue. Okay, cool. When this happens, then I can come out of hiding and I have to do something. And maybe he's waiting for Voldemort to get the weapon. So he's looking at what Harry's memories are of these dreams. So when he sees Voldemort has the weapon, he could then act on it whatever acting on it means. If he's this sleeper agent in Hogwarts. I'm not saying I'm like 100% there. I'm like 65%. So it just feels sketchy, and not enough of the pieces are coming together for why he has to be going to Snape for lessons. But the last thing we hear Dumbledore say is, get better at this. You'll understand why later. And I'm waiting for later.
I had a theory about that one.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe we'll wait till that.
Wait till we get there. Nice.
Well, are we going to get there?
All right. Yeah, if we get there.
But I flip-flop between Snape and being good and bad, too.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking, like in sports, when you're trying to learn something new, you like suck at it for a long time, and then something clicks, and then you could be really good at it. So for me, when he's saying these things, like I feel like I'm getting worse and worse. I was like, I can relate to that. I was like, you try X, Y, and Z in whatever sport, and it's like, I don't feel like I'm making any progress, and then something just clicks, which reminded me of when all of a sudden he was able to see Snape's memories, and he's like, where did you learn that counter? Oh yeah, the
counter curse, was it, or was it just something else?
Protective something, I thought.
Yeah.
Shield, something shield.
Protego.
Okay.
The shield charm.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to laugh at me every time I know a Harry Potter fact.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Jack,
It's
you're
just
right there.
You tested me before. You stumped me. You're not doing it again.
Oh man.
It's Protego. That's the shield charm.
Yep.
I'm always gonna laugh because I'm always just so amazed that you can like remember all this stuff. It's not making fun, even though maybe it feels that way.
Right.
It's not. You're like a dictionary. I'm like, oh wow.
Anyway, keep going with your point.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. I started it. Shoot. Oh, well, yeah. So it just maybe in that moment it is clicking now for him. He wasn't good at it for some time, and then like I was just saying, my analogy of like sports, something clicks, and then you can do that move or whatever better or on point. And now he's getting more, but it's weird because it's like, where did that come from? Did he get that? Is he pulling like some of Voldemort's power, and now he can do like a shield without even realizing he's doing it? Because who taught him that? Or is it the books that he's reading in his study?
Because we've never seen the shield spell.
I don't think so. Have we?
Yeah, I don't know if we have either.
No.
If it's just assumed he learned it in class, I don't know.
That was always something that bothered me a little bit in the books. I remember on my first read is that there was never like an effective way that they learned how to block spells. And this is one of the moments that you kind of get that they kind of knew it all along. And that happens in the movies too, when they're like dueling. In the second one, when they have the dueling club and Lockhart and Snape are dueling, and Snape goes, you should teach them how to block unfriendly spells. They never really learn how to block unfriendly spells there, because Harry and Malfoy just fight each other. Yeah. But they do learn it. There's my burp, sorry.
We all get some.
Yeah, and they learn it because it's Protego. Protego is the shield charm. We'll come back to this point in a bit, though, because this is going to go throughout the chapter, and this is going to go throughout a lot of what we talked about with whether Snape is trustworthy or not, because there's so much that factors into it. Like you're talking about your thoughts on why would he even be helping Harry in the first place, or why is he not talking about like the dreams that he's having, and maybe Snape is even trying to supersede Voldemort. He's trying to like one up him. He's in Dumbledore's good graces, and he's trying to like overpower Dumbledore and then overpower Voldemort. So he's like gaining insider information into all this. So he himself, maybe that's why he keeps invading Harry's mind like this, so he can get information and then go do whatever he needs to do.
But I also don't know why it's bad that he's seeing what Voldemort is up to. I thought that would be good. It's like a spy that like maybe the Voldemort knows now. I guess it sounded like he knows that Harry can see some of this.
Yeah, why do you think it's bad, or it would be bad?
Well, I think if it ends up being reversed, where then he can control Harry's actions somehow, and with all the Order of the Phoenix people or Dumbledore, because Dumbledore can't even look him in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
But
That could get
I
dicey.
don't think it's To me, I'm like, oh, this is great. He's learning information, what they're up to and what's going on. But no one else thinks that.
So it's a great point. So this is kind of what happened before that. Voldemort wasn't really. So you guys have mentioned, like, a lot that there's this connection between them. Voldemort didn't know the depths of this connection until probably a few chapters ago when he realized. So like he didn't know Harry was able to not invade. He was able to get visions from Voldemort and what he was doing. And Voldemort didn't really know what was happening. He didn't know that Harry was getting visions of him. Now it seems like Voldemort understands this and knows it a little bit more. So what do you think Voldemort would do that would be a step further that would would it be just reversed? Would Voldemort just start invading Harry's mind?
Yeah, and then making him do stuff, though.
Yeah. Yep.
Like an Imperious curse from his own brain.
Look at you, Jen.
Yeah, I feel great when you laugh at me.
Right back at you.
Nice.
Like an Imperious, that's like exactly what it could be, though. It could be like a non-wand magic Imperious curse. Is there anything else that it could be?
And he just takes over.
Mm.
Could he like push Harry to the back burner in Harry's body?
Like just take it over fully?
Yeah, like his brain.
Yeah.
Or could he take on Harry like completely, like flesh and everything?
Just switch bodies?
Well, he's like half snake, so right now.
And Harry's a parcel tongue.
Do you think that because of this connection, so this is like a weird meta, maybe this is like even outside the book. Do you think that Voldemort could eventually kill Harry through his mind, through controlling his mind? Or would it just make Harry go crazy? And then simultaneously, maybe because of this connection, maybe this is way out there, because of this connection, if like Harry ended up dying, would Voldemort end up dying?
I know, I thought of that too.
Like if they're so linked, like Dumbledore's in essence divided, like they are truly connected. I think maybe that's part of what I'm afraid of, because then he needs Harry. Yeah. And then he needs to infect Harry's mind and win him over to evil or control him. But if he can,
Harry has to die in order for Voldemort
to get his full power back. Oh, or at the end, Harry literally has to sacrifice himself. Yeah. To kill Voldemort. That'd be weird. Like Harry would have to go into his own mind and fish Voldemort out.
Lord of the Rings.
Something.
Yeah, for real.
Huh. Although I've been thinking Harry might die in this.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it would make a lot of sense for him to be like that's the end of the seventh book.
I don't know, not a lot of hero ones. But isn't Frodo in Lord of the Rings?
What?
He goes off into
the Undying Lands, but he's alive though.
At least at some point. We don't know how it ends. It's no spoilers for you guys.
I don't know.
Oh.
I've never seen them.
Never mind.
But I don't know.
Like, is their life source so connected that even if Voldemort died, is that why Harry even really can't die from him? If Voldemort dies, would Harry die?
At this point, I don't think so.
Because are they like one entity? Like,
I would think if Harry dies, Voldemort might. No, that wouldn't make sense because
I just think it's power. Well,
maybe. I was thinking about his blood, but that wouldn't make sense. But their connection must have formed way earlier than that when he was one. So maybe it's just too different. But it just would have been ironic if Harry dying would have killed Voldemort, because that would have been strange if Voldemort killed him in the graveyard like he planned to, and then they both just died. Like, it's over. Well, done. But maybe it wouldn't have mattered back then. Maybe the connection became stronger after their battle. But in my mind, it's connected to either when he was one or the blood in that potion to bring him back. Mm-hmm. They're connected.
So they are, and
I don't know.
Even on that point, Calvin even has a really good question here. Are you guys convinced that Voldemort is going after the weapon? Is there anything else that you think he could be going after that we just don't know of?
I still think somehow
Definitely.
Harry.
Harry? Do you think Harry is the weapon still, or you're thinking it's more?
It sounds like there's actually a physical weapon in this mysteries department.
There was a part of me that thought that the weapon was related to Harry, though.
Right.
Like from the
he
first
needs
night.
Harry. Well, to me, it's like the weapon and Harry together are like.
That's the
that
combo.
is like the combo.
Huh.
But.
It's the combo to beat all combos.
And Dumbledore's trying to be a step ahead, maybe. And I still don't understand why he can't look him. Like, why does Harry always have this urge to kill him?
We'll get there.
I know, sorry.
Let's make a slight pivot to dating advice.
Oh, yes.
We're back.
Because we're going to get into that in the next 2 chapters. But in this one.
More dating. Okay.
Yeah. They're walking to Hogsmeade, and Pansy goes, at least Cedric was good looking. And then the conversation between Harry and Cho kind of stops at that moment. They're talking about Quidditch and having a great time. And then the conversation stops. Give me advice. What the heck would Harry say after this to lighten the tension at all? Or like to get it back onto conversation? Or to just say anything? What do you say when something like this happens? Should he have just hugged Cho?
I feel like she could have said something too.
Yeah.
She could have said, you are good looking, or something to
say,
like, because I felt like his ego was hurt, you know?
Yeah, 'cause that
but
was
then he
against
could have said
him.
something too, like, oh, girls are so mean, or I hate that girl, or whatever.
Or he could have just like made a joke about himself. Oh yeah, I'm so terrible looking. And then
But
Cho.
guys,
Wow.
No, but then Cho.
dead. And she dated Cedric. I
is-
feel like the joke, I don't know. Maybe for some people it would play off well. I don't know if it would do that for Cho.
Like it was too soon to joke, and
Yeah.
Harry just was lost. Well, that's the thing. We really don't know how sensitive she is to it. There have been a lot of tears.
Well, they both could have just said something to them, like, how dare you bring up Cedric?
Yeah.
He's
A
dead.
double curse, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they would have been making them feel bad.
Or maybe giving them the reaction they wanted. I'm almost glad they didn't say anything. Like, it would have been hard to recover the date after
What?
that.
I
But a little
thought-
bit of silence, maybe
No,
it was
they
like,
just wanted to give it to Cho. I feel like. For, like, double dipping in a way with the dating pool.
Wow, nice.
Don't you
But
think?
that's so
No?
tough.
Yeah, it could be.
If you're having a great conversation with someone and then all of a sudden someone says something that completely changes the topic
Right.
and makes you think of your previous boyfriend who's dead and the person that you're currently dating with was the last person
Or
to see
you
him
could
alive.
just say to them, well, that was rude to Cho. He could have just been Harry.
Yep.
Was like, well, that
Yeah.
was rude.
But here's the thing
Huh.
that is in my head still.
What?
In Cho's mind, what is in her mind right now? Like, she was having a good afternoon. Like, yes, she dwells on Cedric all the time. I'm sure Cedric is in the back of her mind almost all the time. But now it's come to the forefront of her mind. Does Harry honor Cedric, and does he have a conversation about Cedric at that moment? Or does he try to get Cedric back to the back burner of her mind?
No, I'm just saying, like, that. I feel like that was rude covers both. Because
Agreed.
Yeah.
they're talking about a dead person, and then they're comparing it to Harry, and then insulting Harry. Like, all three things is under rude.
So, great. So, that's rude. What's the
He's
next
like, I don't want that
conversation
answer.
that happens after that? Does he go, let's talk about Cedric? Or does he go, let's get back to Quidditch? Or do they just walk in silence like they did? Is that the best step?
Well, you could say, well, that was rude. Does his name coming up often?
I could like take notes for this.
Go for it.
How do you have
Well, that I think would be such a great way to breach the
Does his
conversation, like
name
lean
coming
into
up
it.
a lot, like, affect you?
Yeah.
You know, last time you were crying and talking about him, so is that, if his name ever comes up, is that always kind of trigger you? And like, is there things that, I don't know, people should stay away from mentioning that would
Yeah.
help you?
Because this is where Harry is an absolute moron, is that he doesn't broach any of those topics at
Yep.
all. He doesn't want to mention Cedric one bit, and he has to some extent.
Yep.
He has to at least figure out what her boundaries are in talking to Cedric and
Yeah, I guess
or
that's-
talking about Cedric. Exactly what you're saying, Jen. So
But he
my
talks
issue
about
is he's an idiot.
Quidditch, right?
Yeah.
That's
He
what
just
he
wants to
does.
like, he wants to go on he wants to be normal. If this was pre Cedric's
Yep.
death and Goblet of Fire, it'd be great. Like, yeah, have normal conversations and joke that Pansy's an idiot. But Cedric is dead. She dated Cedric. Harry beat Cedric in the Triwizard Tournament where they tied. He was the last person to see her alive. There's so much complication around that it's like, when you are talking, it's just one, like, even when you're talking to someone random and they bring up something like traumatic that happened in their past, you're like, I don't know what to bring up or talk about or like how to broach this subject. It's so strange.
Yeah. But I feel like
I like your approach because it's like you don't know. You can't read a person's mind, and every person will react differently. So it's like, I don't know, in the gentlest way possible, like ask them, you know, is this okay? Can we talk about this? Do you want to talk about this? If not, like maybe at a different time. Just, I don't know. That's what I'm learning in life.
Yeah, but we're also older. They're in high school.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, this guy's
exactly.
No, I know. He
wants advice for now.
Yeah. We're not talking about Harry at all right now.
This is like our age stuff.
Sorry, you
When
were
you're 31
finishing
years
your
old.
sentence.
Yeah, it's like trying to read people's minds is not the best way to go.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's when you make mistakes more often. So it's just ask the questions.
Get it out there.
You know.
And then you know how to navigate through it after that. Yeah,
Right.
but you ask hard questions to start. Yeah, great.
Right.
More date questions. Here they come.
Nice.
I don't like answering hard questions.
I know.
Especially that early. Like they're on their, what is essentially their first date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just unfortunate that
True.
it's like a huge. I can't see you, Jen.
I'm hiding behind my
I wish
mic
I could put it lower. You could move the whole stand back a little bit.
and then angle it out.
Yeah.
Maybe like that. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect. But that's why it's so awkward because it's the first date. You don't ever want to talk about that kind of stuff on a first date. You just want to have a fun time on a
Has
first
that
date.
happened
Yep.
to you? Because I had a really terrible first date where I was his therapist.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
He just
Whoa.
went, and then I think he realized like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm saying like all these heavy things, but I was just like, oh, it's fine, it's life. I'll just try to encourage with whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
but I would be open to going on another date.
Whoa. So it worked. It was real, at least.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Crazy Stupid Love?
Great
Yes.
movie.
It's like when that's how he picks up his first woman. Marissa Tomei is actually in that movie. That's how he picks her up.
Oh,
But he's so
yeah.
emotionally vulnerable.
Oh, yes.
She loves it. Maybe that's the game plan for a first date. All right, this is everything. Here you go. And they can just make a
Take it or
decision
leave
after
it.
Yeah. That's it. No more.
It's not like I wasn't the greatest thing, but I'd be open to another.
But it was not the worst. So yeah, all right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And I think Harry and Cho already know that they've got like a little chemistry going on. So if they could get through some of the awkwardness, and I think it could be healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it could be.
For the first date.
This is their first date, though, because in the times it took for their coffee to arrive, Roger Davies and his girlfriend had started kissing over their sugar bowl.
Ugh.
Harry wished they would. I love that you just said that, because one of my questions is about that. He felt that Davies was setting a standard with which Cho would soon expect him to compete. He felt his face growing hot and tried staring out the window, but it was so steamed up that he couldn't see the street outside. To postpone the moment when he would have to look at Cho, he stared up at the ceiling as though examining the paintwork and received a handful of confetti in his face from a hovering cherub. Here's one of my questions. All right, it's like a two-part question. Does Harry actually like Cho? Because the reason I'm asking this is why wouldn't he just want to make out with her in this coffee shop if everyone else is making out?
Because he doesn't know how to. One, I could be. His first kiss was not that long ago.
That's true.
Yeah.
And in public.
doing that in public
Yeah,
I
but
wouldn't
if
want
everyone else is doing
to
it in
be-
public.
doesn't mean anything.
That's true, kind of.
I wouldn't want to be
This is a little
practicing in
embarrassing.
public.
Practicing.
I feel so
is.
self-conscious.
I guess so. Performance issues.
I know
She's
everyone else
worried.
How do guys
occupied,
feel?
Wait, what did you say?
What? Nothing.
You pretty much said Harry has ED.
Oh, good.
Just performance issues. Making out issues. He doesn't know. He doesn't
Oh,
know what to
boy.
expect.
He could have just
And he would be directly compared to Roger and all the other snogging
But here's
people
the
in
thing,
this place.
Roger. Is Roger?
But like, they're
paying
not going
attention?
around like making out with everyone. You can't like compare,
Like,
unless she.
Yeah, you're right.
So I mean, this has to be going on in Harry's mind, which is not when you're probably making out with someone. You're thinking about what everyone else in the room is thinking. But Roger Davies, does he actually care why, like, that Harry's making out with Cho? Maybe because he has a crush on Cho. But if I'm Harry, I'm like, this is like, if I'm on a date with Cho and you just said you weren't on a date with Roger Davies, I'm going to kiss you so it makes Roger Davies jealous.
Oh,
like play the game a little bit,
Maybe he was just nervous because
now we want insight into
so
the men's into a man's mind.
I probably wouldn't actually do that, but I'm saying Roger Davies, maybe he cares, but
backpedaling. Though.
But Harry, like, the last thing Harry should care about right now is like being nervous to kiss her or not wanting to kiss her. So it made me think that he doesn't even like Cho.
Agreed. I did think the same thing. Like, he didn't want to like hold her hand. He waited so long. Yeah. Then he did make the move. He just missed his chance.
First time. You guys right
Agreed.
away as a guy
agreed. No,
would reach over.
I'm really slow.
Right there. Absolutely.
I'm really slow with that stuff. But the thing is, if you were getting in my mind, though, there'd be excitement for those things and holding back on purpose. But it feels
first
like
time.
What?
Your first
date?
time, like holding any female's hand. First time making
any
out.
female's hand. I guess I wasn't thinking about it in those terms.
Well, that's what I'm
But
saying.
still,
it changes.
But his energy feels just not psyched. Because being nervous, I think, comes from excitement. This nervousness feels like it's coming from somewhere else. And I'm not sure where.
I agree and disagree. I think the kiss is the thing that confuses me. The hand holding is like, that was written perfectly. Where he's about to like go grab her hand and immediately she takes it away. I'm like, you could see everything in his head is like grab her hand, but his hand literally won't move. And I feel like we all experience that to some extent, like that's the worst when you're trying to like muster up the courage to do something like that and nothing is working, you're like screwed. But the kiss is the thing that confuses me because he just doesn't want to kiss her. I know it's a first date. Maybe that's like why. But he doesn't even want to make the move to kiss her. It's not like he's hesitant to do that.
Because he like knows her. Like on a first date, I'm not kissing her.
To me, like in front of everyone, that's no.
But no one else is paying attention. They only pay attention when he's crying.
I know. It would still like you get in your head and it's just like.
Yeah.
But it's always awkward to get in a rhythm with someone that you like anyways. Like holding their hand. Is that weird for them? Do they like that? Or like leaning in for a kiss? Are they gonna... Do they not like PDA? Like, I don't know. There's like a bunch of factors.
So many side questions, I know.
If he was outside with her and they were sitting on a park bench alone and he acted that way, then he doesn't like Cho. But but he's in public.
No, that's fair. Does Cho wear the pants?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because she's ordering the coffee, she's doing everything, and I feel like that maybe makes it like Harry is waiting for her to make the moves. Like she will make the moves.
But he didn't learn from anyone. That's why I always give him the benefit of the doubt.
That's fair.
He doesn't have any example of what that's supposed to look like at all.
Asked the 8-Ball and Toodles said, if anyone tried to take me to Madame Puttyfoot's, our date would be over immediately. Toodles goes, I like girly frou-frou things, but Puttyfoot's is too much even for me.
Sounds pretty intense.
Oh, that's right, because it's the way it's decorated.
Sounds like a high tea over
cherubs
there.
throwing
but like real cherubs, they're not like, that's what's also crazy.
That would
While you're making out, they're like just
public
sprinkling.
cherubs all over the place. That's making PDA right there.
Yeah.
I don't want cherubs floating above me.
You need like a good, this is true, but their first kiss was in private. Usually, like when you want to make out, it wants to be like I'd rather have it in private, So
usually, except that one time.
Except that one time, I was in the middle of like everyone
on the subway car.
And then Boss said this, which is so funny. Roger Davies is only making out in the books, right? Does he ever do anything else?
He does not speak. He just makes out with blonde
girls.
girls.
Ever spoken a word. He's always
knows
just
how to do.
making out with someone.
That's
very good
hilarious.
I feel like some guys would love that. Can I be him?
He's the guy that every other guy is jealous of in Hogwarts.
Yes.
So like this guy gets all the girls. He can get anyone that he wants, but he couldn't get Cho. Here he got Cho.
Nice.
Because Cho is of substance of real character.
Nice.
But does Cho have a right to be angry at Harry in this moment? In these moments?
Does Cho have the right to be angry at Harry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's a guy.
That's it.
That's all it takes.
No.
I think she's got a right to be like 6 out of 10 angry, but she turned it up to 8, 9, and I'm like, That's unreasonable.
I know she did like go a little bit below
Yeah.
the belt with her comments, but she was hurt, and like we were saying
Yep,
before,
I get it.
Yeah.
he like it wasn't very clear that he is into her.
Right, and
she
didn't
did a lot
Hermione
of the
mention
legwork.
she was trying to get a reaction out of him to see, like,
Yeah, like because she was jealous.
That's
of
really
him.
interesting
like, will
too.
He get
Yeah.
jealous? Like, will he react to this?
She's trying to get something out of him.
And we do that.
Oh yeah.
Like you just have.
That's so healthy. Yeah.
No. What I mean is like we want to. If you have emotions to something we say, then that's.
If you were
How?
a bug, would you still love me?
If
I
I was a
were a bug.
worm, you know, yeah.
That's the question you asked. Like,
What?
whatever.
It's like a thing on the internet. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a joke that like
like-
some girl was on a plane. Did you see that one?
No.
Where some
Where are you guys
someone's
getting
filming
information about dating?
they're filming across the plane aisle at this couple having a fight. They're like about to break up basically, and the girl is crying, and the guy's like, this all started because she asked him if he would still love her if she was a worm. And then it turned into this bit of a
answer that question.
it turned into like a classic internet thing because a lot of girls
Clearly
they
there were
want the
deeper
answer to be
problems.
like boom, because guys are just like, obviously no, if you're a worm we wouldn't date, what, you know, just like instant answer, and girls are like, yeah, but
That's because you guys are like analytical. I don't know. That's
yeah,
like,
yeah, but I think that's why it's a funny question, because
Or
it draws
too
such a funny line
emotional.
Yeah.
between genders where it's like, yeah, a lot of girls would say, just say yes, you would love me no matter what.
I would never
Don't
ask
dig into the
that.
details
My
about
brain would never
worms.
think to ask that question.
Yeah.
I would never be like, would you love me if I was a worm?
She wanted a reason to break up with him. She was like, "What's
yeah.
the worst way, or what's the weirdest way I can break up with him?"
Yeah.
I'll give you
On
an
a
have a
plane
simple
in a
story.
flying metal tube.
That's why I feel like Cho already is sensing that it's a bad date, so she kind of wants an out here.
What should Harry do to the she wants a response? What should he say, and when should he say it?
This is easier said than done, but this is what I feel like he should have done. And I don't know if I would have the gall to do this, but to stop the conversation right there and say, Cho, I think we're misunderstanding each other here for a second, and just have it like a deep dive. Be like, we need to just pause this conversation and like almost restart things from scratch. I want you to know, like, I'm going to hang out with Hermione. I don't think anything of her. I don't have any crush on her or anything like that. She told me to come. And like almost do what Hermione said before.
Yeah.
That was brilliant what Hermione is
Yeah.
telling Harry to do.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like you put a halt to the conversation now. You don't try to
Have you done that?
fix anything. No, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot easier
Oh.
said than done. Idealistically, I think that's
Well,
what
that's
you do.
making yourself vulnerable. That's
Yeah.
the best way to go about things. 'Cause then you're, I know, then you're just being honest. I know. Does anyone ever really do that? I don't know.
I mean, no.
But like, that I don't know. That would be the best way, because then you're just
Yeah.
putting everything on the line. Look, I don't want to like read emotions. I don't want to try to read your face or whatever, or reactions.
He
like,
can't read
this
anything.
Is, I know, but that's why it's like, this is what I think. Tell me what you think, and let's just like figure it out from there.
Exactly.
the
just be
poor
blunt,
thing though, he
but-
can't even connect the dots though.
I
And
know.
she has
Oh,
all
yeah.
these reactions and sayings, and he's like, "What?" Like a pinball machine of
Right.
like it's just all over the place, and he can't follow it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Hermione's like, "Hello,
Yeah.
just follow the trail, and it will lead you to."
Yeah. You go follow the trail, and the trail is like this.
Well, that's how our
like,
brains.
guys
That's how
trails
our
are
brains work.
follow the trail. Wiggly line everywhere.
It's
It's
true.
like the Paris grid.
Yeah, for real.
Makes no sense.
Oh, got it.
Sorry. Yeah. Again, I feel like everyone can read my mind.
Guys
Say what
are
you
New
mean,
York,
Kristen.
girls are Paris.
Use your words.
Nice.
That's a
Guys
great-
are like New York City. It's a grid.
yes.
Girls are like Paris. It looks like a kid scribbled everywhere.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
true. There's
It
a
makes
lot-
sense in
there's a
our
lot
minds,
going
though.
on.
That's the
in
thing.
there.
Like
Yeah,
when
too much.
when you guys were reading these chapters, you guys understood Cho's perspective perfectly. You're
Yeah.
like, well, Harry's an idiot here.
I was like, no, don't say that.
I was like,
say
Cho's
it
not
like
ready
you
for
would
love.
for
What Cho's
Hermione.
no, what's up?
Same thing. I'm
What
going.
did you say?
Cho's
going-
not ready for love.
Oh my
All I'm
god.
thinking is Harry is an idiot in this, but he's like, I wouldn't know how to navigate that because you're on it. It's your first date. You're so caught off guard and you're not yourself at all that if someone already pulls out all this stuff, I don't know what the heck to do.
Yep.
Because if I say something, I'm like, crap, I wish I could take that back. And Harry is trying to rope his words back in his mouth, but they're already out there. And then she just builds on that, and it's like a
They should have done an activity for their first date, not
Yeah.
coffee.
So true.
He should have
Yeah.
planned that out and been like, let's go flying because
Oh
they
my
are on the
God.
Quidditch team.
Whoa!
Oh my gosh, that would've
I
been
can show you the way.
Oh my
I wish I could follow that up.
Oh,
Nah.
that's so funny.
Great.
This is one of my questions we had before, but can guys and girls actually be friends?
You love this question, John, I think.
No.
Why not?
Long term, I don't think so. At some point, someone's going to have a crush. It's going to end in heartbreak. Or someone's going to start dating someone else, and they're not going to be fond of the close friendship, and then the dynamic changes. And then, B-listers, not A-listers, as far as friendships.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
But you're still friends then, so that is...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Friendships. It might not
exactly.
be, like,
You're right.
best
You're right.
friends.
Exactly. I think that's just what I'm trying to say. It's
Yeah.
not best friends.
Yeah.
And if it is best friends, that's when one person has a crush. Usually not both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually, because then they would be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Well,
But sometimes it's just a matter of time. But I'm just assuming they would
But
communicate at that
sometimes
point.
I wonder,
That's
like,
happens.
do friends like not
Sometimes two people
know
like
that
each
they
other.
like each other? Is that possible? Like they just really like spending time with each other. Same things.
Yeah, well, I have some friends that are like that, where it's like a weird dynamic, but usually when I'm watching, I'm like, somebody's in denial, or it's just like it's a temporary thing, and that's fine, because it couldn't last long term. But I think usually, maybe I'm making this up. Usually, it's the guy who's interested, not the girl. And then it just kind of works until the guy can't take it anymore, expresses himself, and then the friendship falls apart, or they date, etc.
Sounds like you have experience with that, maybe.
Oh yeah, big time. No, actually, not personally. I don't think. Maybe, but I've just seen a lot of friend groups form and fall apart.
Remember, it's happened so many
And
times.
and that's what happens too, where like the friend groups form, but then like a few people in the group start dating or something, and then it
Things
makes
get
for an
strange, yeah.
interesting dynamic because things
Yeah.
change, and sometimes the dynamic changes because they get married and literally have kids, and it's great because that's awesome. But I think that's like, I just don't see a lot of real good examples of guy-girl friendships one-on-one that last.
I feel like one of the parties is always interested in the other.
There can be big groups that just kind of work, but one-on-one, nah. And that's why I think the Ron, Harry, Hermione thing
You
works.
agree?
They're still young. There's 3 of them.
Yeah,
You know.
because it's 3, I think that works a little bit better.
Yep.
Because Harry knows that it's Ron and Hermione kind of that are like have a weird thing going on, even though they don't even know what the heck is going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But-
and they're not like talking about it so much,
Yeah.
Except in the movies.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a bit more overt in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna do one more question for this chapter. I have a few more that can be filtered into the next one. Like what is going on with Hagrid, and then is Harry even smart to be telling a story to Rita? We'll talk about that next one.
I know.
But one of my questions is Hermione being abusive
To who?
Rita?
Oh, to Rita.
Oh, yeah,
Like-
a little bit.
I
don't know.
felt bad because she
It's
doesn't have a
blackmail?
job. Like she
Yeah.
looks disheveled, and it's all because Hermione is like, "I'm gonna tell."
Yeah.
Like, that's what's so weird. Like, Hermione's not letting her write at all. I
Yeah.
thought Hermione was just going to say, like, it better be good stuff
to
or don't
proofread
mention
everything.
Harry or, like, whatever. Yeah.
This was
And they can go to Azkaban because they're not registered. That's crazy.
that is a little crazy.
Yeah.
And also, my theory is that Rita is not so upset about this.
That she's not a writer
Yeah, I don't think she was psyched about where she was in her career.
because she.
And I think
wanted to-
she, like, because in my mind, the way this negotiation should have gone is Rita says, I can't do this. This doesn't make sense. Hermione didn't even really tell her what the idea was until they're right there. So we got to witness the whole conversation. I thought Rita was going to push back and say, I'm not going to do it. And then Hermione says, you really need to do it. She threatens. Rita says, no, I still don't want to. All right, fine. How about this? I do this one story, this mega story,
Yeah.
and I'm going to make it so good. And then you drop it and never bring it up again.
Yeah.
She didn't even say that. She didn't even push back. She's like,
drop-
"Eh,
oh,
good
that
story,
she's
cool. And I'm going to write it
animating
for this like hack of a magazine I don't even like. Oh, yeah, sure.
Yep.
Rita didn't push back at all.
Yeah.
Made me think she really wasn't that concerned because I feel like Rita could negotiate.
Well,
she didn't
the thing. I
try.
think she's in such a strange position right now because she has no power in any of this. I actually feel bad for her slightly. And this annoyed me about Hermione, is that Hermione has all the power and she's actually abusing her power in this instance.
Yeah.
Rita has no power, and even though she was the one that wronged other people, I don't think it's necessarily like I wish Rita would push back and say this, but she is feeling so helpless that she doesn't want to say anything, because if she does, then Hermione could just...
Is that it? She's just so nervous that she like didn't even push back the slightest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hermione's got to let her off the hook at some point. It should have been now, I think.
Yeah. Right.
Do you think she's got to keep her on the leash for a while longer?
I feel like she could come in handy for certain
Yeah,
things.
it's, I mean... Yeah.
And it is abusive. I'm not saying
But wouldn't it be better to keep her, on the good side, win her over from a little bit, not kindness maybe, but like kind of set her loose in a sense. Because, let's face it, Hermione's still going to know the information. And it sounds a little harsh to say it. She could still hold this information over her in the future, but you can set her free in a sense by saying, thank you, you've paid your dues, I won't hold this against you anymore. Like, that just takes the burden off of Rita a little bit, even though... Hermione could still call her up later and just be like, hey, I said you were off the hook, but now situation changed and I'm going to threaten you again.
That's terrible.
And that would be absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
But I think that's why it makes no sense that Hermione wouldn't set her free, though. Like,
I also
you don't
know
need her.
why she's so adamant about Hermione's telling people that she's an animagus, because Malfoy knows too.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
And so does Crabbe and
It's out there a little bit. Yeah,
so
you're right.
If they could say, well, you need to write a piece contradicting that, otherwise we're going to tell on you. So to me, I was like, it doesn't really matter that Hermione knows and can threaten it.
I'm wondering, is it...
Because they were talking in the
They were talking to her, yeah.
And there's even frustrating notes. So, like, Hermione wants the scales balanced for press, because right now the press is completely biased in the Harry Potter universe. She wants it balanced, but this isn't the way to go about it. She's actually going against what she truly believes, I feel like, by threatening someone to write a story that she doesn't really believe or even want to write necessarily. It's like, this isn't a free idea thinking society. She's not letting Rita think how she wants to think.
Yeah, but Rita is also programmed to write for the Daily Prophet.
Yeah.
So she's thinking in that lens. When you have to make someone write another piece another way, I feel like it helps for the truth to come out, or for it to be a different lens, basically. So I don't know if threatening her or like making her write something that she doesn't want to write.
Yeah.
Just because she would be like, oh, this is what would sell for the Daily Prophet, and she's not in that mindset. Yeah. Honestly, I thought they were just going to have her write a piece because she was a well-known journalist name. Separate, without any... But I guess, how do you print that? I don't know. And who's going to read it? Right. Maybe that's it. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll talk about this in the next. We're going to keep going because I'm going to speed through some of the next ones.
Rita and Mr. Lovegood fall in love.
Yeah.
That could work, right? She goes over there full time. He's gotten over his wife.
That took me a second. I was like, wait, what?
I'm just going with theories. Anyways.
She doesn't have a mom?
I think her mom passed away. I don't remember why I know that, but she mentioned it. She can see thestrals, and I think it was about her mom.
I think you had that theory that it was about her mom.
Okay, maybe that wasn't confirmed, but in my head,
it is.
Her mom's dead, and Rita's going to be her stepmom.
Maybe she mentioned.
No, I don't remember.
He's so confident.
But it's already headcanon.
All right, give me a summary of chapter 26. Seen and unforeseen.
Oh, why do I have so much written down?
I'll go for it.
Hermione helps Harry understand Cho's reaction on their date. Go Hermione. The article is printed in the Quibbler and more people are believing Harry's story. Harry has another dream where he is Voldemort. Trelawny gets fired, but Dumbledore refuses to have her removed from Hogwarts. And Firenze is hired as the new divination professor.
Calvin goes, Rita, in quotes, Luna, I'm your new mommy.
What? I was just gonna say something that's not gonna make sense to you guys because my siblings and I always say it, and I don't know what it's from. It says, "I'm your mama." I don't know what that's from.
I don't know. I feel like I kind of know what you're talking about, but
it's from something, and I can't.
Also, there's another point. So someone is saying that men and women can be friends. It's toxic thinking that you can. So sometimes I think that's true. Idealistically, I think it is. But in my experience, I have had 3, when I was in college, grad school, and then post, my 3 best friends at those moments were females. And for 2 of them, they ended devastatingly because one of the 2 people had a crush and didn't communicate it in the friendship. And then it came up later and it was like, oh, I thought this was just friends. I am not interested in you. And it completely changed the whole dynamic of it. And the 3rd one, the same thing happened, but both of us were actually able to move on. And we're like great friends to this day. Even though there's been like some scars and some hurt from not feeling that. And we've like gone back and forth like between possible romantic attraction. There isn't anything right now. And we're able to like both move on, talk about each other's dating life, all that kind of stuff. That can be healthy, but I feel like that is extremely rare. I do feel like in a relationship of like a man and a woman, if they're best friends, they can be friends, obviously. Like, if they're best friends, sometimes I feel like one of the parties has at least some kind of attraction to the other party.
And if they don't, I would say, why not?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, if you get along so well, what's stopping you?
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know. That's a deeper conversation that we'll pick up later. Anyway, okay. This is how it starts. This chapter it goes. You should have told her differently," said Hermione, still with that maddeningly patient air. "You should have said it was really annoying, but I'd made you promise to come along to the 3 broomsticks, and you didn't really want to go. You'd much rather spend the whole day with her, but unfortunately, you thought you really ought to meet me, and would she please come along with you, and hopefully you'd be okay to get away more quickly. And it might have been a good idea to mention how ugly you think I am, too," Hermione added as an afterthought. "But I don't think you're ugly," said Harry, bemused. Hermione laughed. "Harry, you're worse than Ron." "Well, no, you're not," she sighed as Ron came stumping into the hall, splattered with mud and looking grumpy.
Oh, Ron. Oh.
How do you know if a person likes you or not?
Oh, man.
They want to spend time with you. They'll make every effort to be a part of anything you're doing.
That's a good one.
Right?
Yeah.
I think.
You say mean things to them until they react, I guess. That's what Cho would say.
Who said that?
Oh my gosh.
Cho. No, I don't know. I'm trying to think. The feet rule. If your feet are pointed at someone when you're talking to them, it's like the idea of like your body facing them. So if someone's turning their entire body towards you, it's a good sign.
Never even thought of that.
I'm trying to think of like past if I could ever tell. I don't remember.
Sometimes
Pupils
you like drop
dilated.
little hint things to see if they pick up on it. I did that one time with like an Instagram post. I purposely posted a picture
Ooh,
at a
nice.
Mets game, knowing that they're a Mets fan.
Oh, well
And
played.
what? Yeah, and he
played.
wrote on it. He commented on it. "Next time, take me." And I was like, "Yep, I knew it."
You're like, and first date. Done.
Got
I
him.
wrote back and I was like, "We
Really did.
should plan another one." And then we side chatted.
Nice. It's a good move.
Okay. Next question. Sorry, I was a little distracted by chat, as you guys probably know.
Big shocker there.
Are they giving you dating advice?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Talking
Go
about-
chat.
And you're not sharing it with us?
Only he gets it.
There is such funny stuff going on in chat now. I don't want to throw people under the bus, but someone goes.
Isn't that the point of the chat?
I've had many female friends, and I've only wanted to boink like 90% of them. Oh
Calvin.
How'd you know?
I was guessing.
Now
It
you
seemed
just
a
threw him
common
under
thing
the
to
bus.
say.
We're like nowhere fans.
That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
I'm crying. Okay, is it good that this story is published? Do you think that Harry
Yeah.
should have told this story?
I think he should have asked someone who has authority first, like Dumbledore.
That would have been the smart thing to do.
But I think it's a good thing. But I don't know. Because we don't know Dumbledore's plan. But I have a feeling this story accelerated the Umbridge wrath, which led to them getting caught.
Yeah.
Which led to everything that comes on in the next chapter. So I'm not sure it was a good thing. It does seem like it, though. Because it's changing the narrative. People are understanding that the Ministry is not giving them all of the pieces. The Daily Prophet is losing some of their, their market share on information. So it really does seem like a good thing all around. But I'm curious if it had some negative effects they don't realize yet. And I felt like it was too bold of a move to make without consulting someone who knows better. Any adult other than Rita.
Yeah.
I don't know, though.
But then Hermione is really smart, so I feel like, yeah. Not that she's that mature, but
Well, she kind of is, though. She really is.
It is
but
funny
I
that
think it helps to like divide. Like now, like Hermione was saying, it's like people are so confused and had questions about the 10 prisoners, and now this is giving insight to it, which the Daily Prophet didn't give any insight at all. So now they're kind of like catching that wave before the Daily Prophet can make up something.
I'm
They
just curious,
threw out
like,
the Sirius
what's
Black
Fudge
thing.
thinking, though? Like, what's his story?
Is he even?
He didn't
like,
give any explanation. Like, why does he think 10 people escaped? It felt like it was like...
Because they're protecting him, I feel like, Lord Voldemort. I feel like they know what's going on, but they don't really...
Oh, you think so?
in,
You're
like,
still thinking that Fudge is like evil,
at this
evil.
point...
Yeah, you're right.
How do you
I'm starting to
not?
think that a little bit. I just feel...
Umbridge is a disaster,
locked in.
and she's so mean. Fudge can't wait to, like, do something to Dumbledore. And 10 prisoners leave... Fudge was, like, on top of Hogwarts thinking that Sirius Black was coming after Harry to... and now he's at Hogwarts trying to get someone in trouble instead of finding the 10 prisoners, or like in his office trying to get all hands on deck. Let's find out what's going on.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem, it seems like he's on their side.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem like it's a little strange what's going on here.
Or he's really caught up in himself.
Yeah. What do you think is going on with these two other guys, though, when he has this like slight vision with Avery and Rookwood?
I was trying to figure out who Avery was. They mentioned it as if we would know who that they came up previously. Has it come up previously? No, right?
Kinda, not in like an explicit way, like these are these people. I think their names have come up previously.
Yeah.
Augustus Rookwood, do you know where his name came up,
No.
Danny?
I know.
I
Just
know
ask Danny.
Rookwood is a name in the video game.
Yeah.
The Rookwood
The
Castle.
Rookwoods, yeah. So.
Oh yeah, my French fry socks.
Yeah.
They're not just red. They're French fry socks.
I just saw them shimmering.
I know. Augustus Rookwood is Crockpot threw him under the bus when he was at his trial.
Huh.
And he had to give some names. He gave Augustus Rookwood as a name because he was inside the Ministry. He was a spy inside the Ministry, and he got
Which
sent to
is
Azkaban
true.
because of that. So that was true. That was one like valid name that Crockpot came
Rookwood
up with.
got.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the other guy, Avery, I think we've heard his name maybe once or twice in brief. Like he was just mentioned as a Death Eater, but that was about
That's
it.
probably what it was then.
Yeah.
But Avery couldn't accomplish it. It made it seem
Yeah.
like he was like dead,
Yeah.
right?
Because what
But that's
information are they trying to pass off to Voldemort?
not- The Death Eaters?
Yeah. Those two guys
I
specifically.
thought they were trying to get the weapon.
So do you
No.
think that was they were just passing off the information about the weapon?
I
how
was reading
to.
it that way too, like
how to get the weapon.
Okay.
about Bodhi and the weapon and how it was all going down. That's how I was reading it initially. Yeah, like
Is there
he
another
was
way?
mad. Well, the way John's asking it, it seems like maybe.
I know. We're missing something.
Oh, I'm sure we're missing lots of things. But yeah, I read it as if it was the weapon. Like they were the ones. Avery told Rookwood something about the plan that would work to get the weapon, or oh yeah, just Imperious this guy and it's gonna work out. And then it didn't work, and they had to then kill someone in the hospital, which raised some red flags. It's putting them more on the radar. You know, like that's not what you'd want.
Also, Fudge
But-
is like super close with Lucius Malfoy. That already is like a red flag beyond
He's a big
red
donor.
flag.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's just yeah, you're right.
because he's in. And then Harry mentioned it in that
Yeah, that was great.
that
That was like a stick it to the man in the article.
the article.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it so much, because Malfoy and Crabbe and
Shuts
Goyle
him up.
could not say anything, and that was one of my other favorite
These were good,
Comebacks.
satisfying chapters.
Yeah.
Like they're finally fighting back because
like-
they couldn't admit they read the Quibbler.
Yep.
But they couldn't say. Yeah, it was great. It was fun, fantastic.
But then I think in a way I kind of liked it too, because now Fudge being close with Lucius Malfoy, for people that are believing the Quibbler, will now second guess where his loyalty lies to.
Yeah.
And like what, even the little portraits were like mad at Fudge. There's never been so much corruption.
Yeah.
I know we're a chapter behind.
I don't know about these portraits. I'm like a little bit confused, or I'm a little worried. Like, are they going to spill Dumbledore's secrets now that Dumbledore is gone? Because they're loyal to the headmaster of Hogwarts.
So who's the new headmaster going to be?
I really
Umbridge.
hope it's McGonagall, but I think it's going to be Umbridge.
It is not going to be McGonagall. I wish.
I know. Well, Fudge wouldn't do it. And I'm assuming Fudge
Or
is the
Fudge.
one. Or wait, do the governors get to?
No,
Are the
Fudge
governors
can't
just
do it.
gone now? We haven't heard them mentioned in so many books.
Yeah.
But they seem to matter a couple books ago. I was kind of hoping there'd be a chance for someone better, but
I just don't understand like Umbridge's satisfaction in doing all this. Like, what is she getting out of this?
man, if it's Umbridge, she can just ask them all the details and they'll have to tell her everything Dumbledore's been up to. But because Dumbledore knew that was a possibility, he either knew he had their loyalty or he was careful not to share all the details with them.
How do you think a headmaster is chosen? Do you think like it is a magical thing that someone is selected?
Like
Or-
the sorting hat or
Yeah.
whatever
I
else,
thought
but
it was,
like for
voted,
people.
No. Would it have been voted?
The Minister of Magic is voted,
Maybe that's
but
what I was
maybe
getting
there is a
confused.
magical thing for the headmaster. I thought it was the 10 governors. I think it was 10, maybe 12. I thought the governors voted the headmaster.
I didn't even know they were governors, so.
That was just back from the first book or second book where
Oh, yeah,
Malfoy
just,
went around
just
and he
then.
paid them all to
like almost a year ago.
what did he pay them for? It was something. Was that
gosh.
getting Hagrid out of there?
You think I know?
I don't remember. Anyways, there are governors that haven't been mentioned in forever, but could there be something else? How would it be? A sorting ceremony, but just for the headmaster. And then who's the pool of people?
Is it
All
professors or
current
something?
teachers,
Yeah.
all current wizards, all current ministry
What if
employees.
Snape is the headmaster?
What if
Ooh.
Lucius Malfoy is?
Oh,
What if
God.
Lucius Malfoy? Oh my gosh, that would be good too.
But not all the headmasters have been good. But most seem to be good. So this, whatever this method is, it's probably a decent one. Maybe it wouldn't let Umbridge be the
I
headmaster.
feel, or Umbridge gets to pick? No, that wouldn't make sense.
Well, they're flexing their power. Maybe she would, but that wouldn't be the right way. And maybe if they supersede the right way, the portraits don't have to listen to the headmaster, so they don't get the real authority. It's fake authority.
I'm interested. Oh, whoops. Every time I've been reading these chapters, I'm like, I hope that they show this, this, and this in the movie. I have
Don't
a
get your
feeling they're gonna
hopes
take
up.
out a chunk.
People
Like,
do
I
this
really want to
movie.
see a Centaurian.
The Centaur.
Yeah, why do I say that? See? This is. I knew that as it's coming out of my mouth. I'm like, that's not
right. Well, you know, it's cool.
Just
Honestly,
gonna- I
yeah.
like your
Oh
commitment.
my
That makes me happy.
Yeah, seriously, go for
I
it.
said it confidently, just so you can catch it in the mic. That was wrong.
So there's some other stuff going on here too. Harry
You didn't answer.
has this whole vision through Voldemort's perspective. So it's going back to this: is Harry Voldemort? Is this connection so deep that he is becoming Voldemort?
I don't think so.
What was your question about the Centurion?
Yeah.
She's tapped out.
Yeah, we're losing her.
If they'd be in the movie, that was my question.
Oh, you want to see the hot shirtless blonde guy?
Yeah.
Classic.
And he's part horse is my favorite.
Yeah, it's the perfect combo.
Yeah. I mean,
What if
that
it's-
sounds
Yeah,
like
never mind.
something else. And I'm not that.
What?
Oh my gosh.
I just had so many thoughts. Keep going. Oh, no.
Yeah. Never mind. I can't even. Nope.
It can't be saved.
Answer me this though. So we already talked about the connection that they have. We're gonna move on for some questions for some other ones. This is another line that we get of Sturgis Podmore that I want to talk about for a second. He was arrested for trying to get through a door. Lucius Malfoy must have got him too. I bet he did the day you saw him there, Harry. Sturgis had Moody's invisibility cloak, right? So what if he was standing guard by the door, invisible, and Malfoy heard him move, or guessed someone was there, or just did the Imperious Curse on the off chance that there'd be a guard there? So when Sturgis next had the opportunity, probably when it was his turn to on guard duty again, he tried to get into the department to steal the weapon for Voldemort. Ron, be quiet. But he got caught and sent to Azkaban. Do you think that that's right? Or is Sturgis Podmore's
sounds
story
really
a little
good.
stranger?
Honestly, I think it's stranger than that. That explanation, it could be,
Because it came from Ron.
but it feels unlikely. No, like I tend to like Ron's
this is
perspective
the
in
guy
some
that
things,
got
but
caught and it was in the Daily Prophet.
the morning or the night before school started, yeah.
And he didn't show up and bring
Yeah.
Harry to. Yeah.
But like sitting there with an invisibility cloak and then having Lucius Malfoy just like happen to see him and Imperious and the whole thing, it feels a little far-fetched. I would sooner believe that he was turned and was working for Voldemort in all of that and just legitimately got caught, or something else. I don't know. We don't know yet. We don't have all the pieces, but that story, it just didn't settle that nicely to me. I was like, could be.
Sounded good
But
to me.
meh. Yeah, you liked it?
Well, I think maybe he could have been in his invisibility under the cloak, but maybe.
Because Sturgis had Moody's cloak, right?
But then I'm wondering if maybe they got into an altercation, like maybe Lucius Malfoy. Yeah. And he was trying to stop Lucius from doing something, and then he turned around and did the Imperious Curse.
Like Lucius just,
That was like
Overpowered
a defense. Yeah.
like Lucius was going in to try and take the weapon that night or something,
Maybe.
and didn't know
Although
anyone would be
apparently you
guarding.
need someone to take it for you, but
No,
or
that
maybe he
could be
didn't
true.
know at first.
Well,
or I
yeah,
don't
right.
know.
Like they probably had to learn through trial and error what they needed, and this was just the first one. They're like, oh, whoa.
But like how
someone's
many,
guarding
I wonder
this.
like what's on the weapon, and it makes them crazy.
Yeah,
A teapot.
I'm seeing where Avery told me Bodhi would be able to remove it. That's what Rookwood said. So Avery told Rookwood some details about something to be removed. We're assuming the weapon. And it seems like Sturgis was in that same corridor, the same kind of thing. I don't know. Can't put it together. Too many missing pieces.
Yeah. We'll talk about that as we go on, because that's that story might keep popping up.
Yeah,
maybe,
we're getting
know.
bits and pieces of it.
But there is there's two more things I want to mention in this chapter before we get to the last one. We'll do the last one. The last one has less. But I guess Snape staggered and his wand flew upwards away from Harry, and suddenly Harry's mind was teeming with memories that were not his. A hook-nosed man was shouting at a cowering woman, while a dark-haired boy cried in a corner. A greasy-haired teenager sat alone in a dark bedroom, pointing his wand at the ceiling. shooting down flies. A girl was laughing as a scrawny boy tried to mount a bucking broomstick. Do any of these mean anything, or is this just like Snape's childhood? Did they mean anything to you? Do you feel like there's any deeper meaning in any of these memories?
It just makes him... I feel bad for Snape, or maybe that's why he acts the way he does, but just his childhood.
Yeah, I did feel bad for him. I was trying to read into them a little more. Couldn't really get anything, though. Just a strange childhood. And then I started to feel bad for him and even was impressed with his reaction, because after he was talking to Harry about it, I thought he was going to be like mad. But then he like kind of wasn't. But then I thought, are these really his memories? Or can you use a Pensive to insert memories that aren't even yours to like make someone feel sorry for you? Or are these definitely his? Like, they're almost like too good. I'm like, oh man, these like does actually make me feel bad for him. Like almost like picture
like
perfect.
Lot, though. Like,
yeah, like could he have known that Harry was going to do this?
That look like
No,
you?
not make them up. I think like steal them from other people.
But it has to be you.
But I was thinking once you insert a memory, like
It becomes you.
it could. It would just be like part of you. I mean, you know, like you're like, throw it in there.
Part of the mind now.
The Pensive is a fascinating place. Also, is the Pensive just empty? Or are there just like a bunch of memories swirling around in this? Because I almost viewed it like a library of memories. So he's like looking around in there, like he's like, oh, there's a good one.
I feel like there's multiple
childhood
Pensives.
trauma, boop. Scarred from bullying,
Like per
bloop.
person?
Yeah.
Wait,
Not
what?
like everyone has this object, but I feel like this is Dumbledore's personal Pensive. And he like I don't know, should I say this? Yeah, this isn't really anything. In the movies, they're like bottled up. They're not in the Pensive. So he takes a memory and he puts it in the Pensive, and that's how you view it. The Pensive is the viewing vessel for these memories. For Snape, it's the holding vessel for him until he pops it back in. But I guess he's not like putting them in jars or something like that, each separate one, which he maybe could be able to do. I don't know why he's taking a Pensive to do this or anything like that. But Dumbledore, I think he has some of these memories in jars or bottles, and then he dumps them over. But I don't know how accurate that is in the books.
In the books, so far, it seems like we've seen people use the Pensive directly, and Harry stick his face in it for the trials and stuff. But I don't know if we've seen any bottled up stuff. I don't think so. And
like, I think I've asked this a while ago, but do you feel like anybody, like, are these the truest memories that exist, or is this? Do you think I could like alter my memories and put that into a Pensive, or is this like unadulterated? When I'm taking it out of my mind, that is the absolute truth, and that goes into whatever it is.
I thought it was like how you perceived it, not like necessarily fact from like a third
I
party
feel like that's what
looking
memories
in.
are.
Yeah.
Like, they can't ever be
that's
true
true.
fact.
Yeah.
It's like
very
there's your story,
fallible.
there's, you know,
Yep.
the other person's story.
So
And
could
there's
I?
the truth, but
What if you take a memory from someone who is like, because there are people who lie so much that they end up believing their lie.
Yeah.
What if you take a memory from someone like that that's like has a altered memory that I don't know how that would even work, but
Oh, so like he wasn't alone. Like he had all these friends, but he felt alone because
yeah, right?
that's the lie he believed.
Yes, exactly. Great point. Yeah.
Like
and
he-
he's been telling himself that since high school.
like he was
Right.
best
Yeah.
friends with the Padfoot, Wormtail, and all of them, but he's showing that he was a loner.
Just because that's how he felt. Yeah. Great question.
And he's so good at this occlumency, and what's the other one?
Legilimency.
Lululemoncy.
Very expensive.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm wondering why he got so good at this. It
Yeah.
feels like there's more to the story about Snape and memories, because something drove him to get here. And I feel like it could have been trauma that he was trying to get rid of for himself. Or maybe this is something more, abuse from someone in his family, attacking
seems
his
like
own
his
memories.
parents.
Yeah, it could be. And I'm not sure, but I feel like you could alter memories. Because you can do memory charms. So
Yeah.
if you do a memory charm,
What would you do
and
if
then someone
Lockhart-
does a Pensive and they throw it in, they're not just going to be like, wait a second, that happened? That's how that happened?
Yeah.
I feel like once the memory's been altered, whatever you throw in the Pensive would already be altered too. So we've already like seen, we've seen even the good guys alter memories in these chapters. So you can't trust memories at all.
Yeah.
They're okay.
Last question in this chapter is, what are your thoughts on everything that happens at the end? Trelawny's sack, Dumbledore's attitude, the friends hire. It's like a stick it to Umbridge right there. For a second.
Yeah, I loved.
Dumbledore just knows everything.
I know.
He gets it all. But again, I'm wondering if he just was watching this happen in real time. He sees Trelawny being fired upstairs, and he just immediately goes to the forest and says, I've got 10 minutes to get this resolved, because he knew it was a possibility. And does he have a backup plan for other professors like McGonagall and Hagrid if they get sacked? Because, well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore, but I feel like he must have had contingency for any teacher who would get fired. Man, that felt good.
I know.
Except I really wanted to hear Snape's response to Harry's question.
I know.
Why he calls him the Dark Lord.
Yep.
Nobody else does. Only Death Eaters.
So that I know. It's like casting doubt on your trust of Snape a little bit.
Yep.
It just fluctuates so much in this book. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll see. Maybe.
I don't want him to go bad.
You don't want him to go bad?
Sorry.
We'll wrap it up real quick. I promise.
No, it's
Promise nothing.
The next chapter we'll do in 20 minutes. Guys.
Yay!
There's fun
Should we write that
questions in the
down?
next one.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Summary of the next chapter, Centaur and the Sneak. Ready? Go. Unless Danny has anything in the previous chapter.
Divination class with Firenze, the Centaur. Dumbledore's army gets caught, quote unquote, and Fudge comes. Chaos in Dumbledore's office. Dumbledore is on the run by the end of the chapter, after taking the blame for starting Dumbledore's army instead of
He's
Harry.
not on the run. He knows exactly where, he's going.
I mean,
I think so.
no, you're probably right. He's on the lam. He's at least, he's not in the good graces of the authorities of the land.
But he can overpower them, so in a way, it doesn't matter.
He's the authority. Everyone else is just
pretty much
living
That's
in his
nice.
world.
Right.
I'm curious why Dumbledore needs Trelawny at Hogwarts. I think there's more to that as well.
Oh
Previous
yeah,
chapter.
you have
It
a
wasn't
whole
just him
theory
being
on
kind?
that.
No, there was more to it.
All right.
It felt like she wanted to leave. She was like, you know what? It's cool. Dumbledore, just let me go. And he's like, no, please stay.
Why would he want Trelawny there, though?
Well, at first I was thinking about family connections, because it's good to be around family, etc. Is there a student or someone who's related to her that it's good for her to be around? Or is she actually a good seer, but only in very specific circumstances,
'cause
and
remember that
Dumbledore will
time?
need her? But still, why at Hogwarts?
Yeah.
Or is she more of a target than anyone realizes? And it would not be safe for her to be outside of Hogwarts.
Yeah.
I don't know.
like all your theories.
And Assy 8 Ball has another good point, even in this too, that McGonagall almost despises divination, but she still comes to her aid here, which shows McGonagall's character.
So true.
I love that moment so much.
Great.
And Dumbledore's
Yep,
the same.
you're right.
I feel like he doesn't love divination that much. He thinks it's kind of a joke, but he does seem like he wants Trelawny to still stay at the castle. And you don't know if that's for some reason or if he's just a kind, loving, good person. That he
Right.
wants to,
Or
like,
is
protect
it
It
just
could
to
be that.
stick it to Umbridge and
Yeah,
Fudge?
right?
It could be that
Yeah.
too, just to be like, yep, I'm in
Nope,
control.
they're
Actually,
staying.
I'm firing every teacher and we're hiring a Centaur in place. Just to really stick it to her. Half-breeds. Only half-breeds.
I wish she would if he hired every teacher was some kind of half-breed. That would be great.
Amazing.
Which leads into my next question. Is it weird to be attracted to a Centaur?
I don't know, Jen, tell us.
Or the spirit from, or the horse from the movie Spirit. Have you guys ever seen that horse?
That's a sexy
There's
horse.
memes that go on all throughout the internet. How
What?
sexy this horse is.
Let me look. I don't know. It sounds familiar.
Don't give me that look until you've seen the freaking horse.
Yeah, really.
What do I? How do I
horse
search it?
It's a
Just type
gorgeous
Spirit
horse.
the movie.
Spirit horse.
John is attracted to horses.
What is that called?
I mean, bestiality.
Bestiality.
Oh yes.
Nala is a darn attractive
Oh, I
lion.
see.
Respect.
I like Beast and Beauty and the Beast. So.
There you go.
I look this movie up now.
I think.
Oh yeah, it's attractive.
Spirit?
Yeah, right. Beautiful horse. Jen's
Wait,
like,
let me
this is
see.
a sexy horse.
Babe City right there.
And it's a cartoon.
Well, you're not attracted to animated
And
characters.
it's a cartoon.
Christian was
Animated
thinking as
characters I'm attracted
real-
to.
I thought it was at least going to be like a real horse.
And it's a cartoon.
Would that make it better?
I don't
In
know.
my mind, that makes it worse. You're like,
right?
what?
Or not?
I'm like, yeah, really.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Black
I'm
Beauty.
just going to be quiet
I
now.
don't know. I love
I feel like Kristen needs to talk about an animated character she's attracted to
Yeah.
now.
I feel like
Yeah.
I need to not talk about
I feel like I remember seeing like a Cardi B video or something like that, and she was like,
But there's
"The grasshopper from A Bug's Life does stuff to me."
Oh,
Her name was like Hopper.
Wow.
His name was Hopper or something.
Isn't he
funny.
evil?
what's his face?
Yeah, he's evil.
Wow.
But he's
Come
a
on,
good-looking
Cardi.
grasshopper.
Fair.
He is the
That's
evil
fair.
one.
That's fair.
What's his name? From Tangled.
Flynn Rider.
Flynn Rider.
But he's not evil.
Eugene
Flynn is great.
Fitzherbert.
Flynn is.
I'm not saying he's evil.
Oh yeah, I thought you said he was evil. I'm sorry. Flynn is a
Oh
beautiful
no,
man.
I was commenting on the whatever the Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Maybe
No, that's
weird.
fair. Not quite the animated we were hoping for, but I guess we'll accept it,
there's
right?
there's male and female Centaurians.
Centaur.
I feel like it's all more awkward when they're female.
We know they're a male and female because Dean asked this brilliant question in the middle of that class. Did Hagrid breed you like the Thestrals?
Well, yeah, but
Oh
he
my
was pissed about it.
Yeah, which is the dumbest question. Is
Yeah,
Dean
obviously.
stupider than
yeah,
Ron?
no, I agree. I'm just trying to picture what this looks like. Do they have an outfit, or is it
It's a
just
wear bra.
That's what.
She's like the little mermaid. The little mermaid.
Little
Little
mermaid.
This is why I've been quiet.
But instead of shells, something
can't-
from the forest,
Yeah.
fig leaves, etc.
It's
you go.
getting late right now.
yes.
Okay.
So right now we're all.
Why
attracted
was
to
this worth it
half-breeds.
for the centaur? Why was
he
it
got
worth
banished.
it for him to get banished to teach?
I
like,
know that's what
I'm-
was interesting.
Was
too.
this just out of respect for Dumbledore? Or did Dumbledore have to offer him something more? Is this out of the goodness of his heart
got
or
kicked out of his
love for
herd.
Harry? Yeah, like he abandoned everything he's ever known for this. Why? He literally can't go back to his home. There is like more to this, and I just don't know why.
Maybe
Like, is
he's
this
the
something
only
all
one
the
that
centaurs were
believes
talking about?
that- But remember, he was also like this a few books ago.
Yeah, when he let Harry catch a little ride out of the weird situation.
First book,
Yeah.
Yeah, like no other.
No other centaur was down with that.
I'm
No other
afraid to say.
centaurian was.
Jen is second guessing herself on everything. that comes out of her
No.
mouth.
I already
words.
do, and now I say it confidently it's wrong. So now I'm
Yeah,
really-
but it's great anyway.
That
You're saying it with
class
confidence.
actually.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
What?
I
I
would.
said you're saying it with confidence.
Oh.
Yeah, Centaurian. It doesn't matter. We'll just we call Crockbot.
Yeah,
Crockbot.
seriously, we're,
Centaurian
like,
is a
making
new
up
word
all
for
the
centaur.
things.
Yeah.
We're gonna call them Centaurians from now on.
No.
That class would be fun though. I'm not gonna lie. Going into like this classroom that all of a sudden becomes this forest, and you just lay down and look at the stars. I'm into that class.
That
That'd be
classroom.
so cool.
Great.
I
date
like
with Cho.
amazing.
missed that, and then when I
Yeah.
realized, you know,
Second date with Cho. Hey, let's go into this classroom and just look at the stars.
Yep.
Mars is bright tonight.
Stargazing
Bring her
inside. Make
That's
some
the
hot
Friends
chocolate with a
episode I just
wall
watched.
spell.
oh
He
yeah,
takes her to the museum, right?
Aw,
Yep.
that's
They
cute.
lay down and look at the stars.
All right, this is what he says though. This is one of the predictions that we get. He goes, in the past decade, the indications have been that wizard kind is living through nothing more than a brief calm between two wars. Mars, bringer of battle, shines brightly above us, suggesting that the fight must soon break out again. Is the Centaurian right?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, everything is leading to that point.
Everything's
A
leading to
wizarding
that.
war.
Yep. It would only be right.
But I feel like that happens every like 100 years.
Mm.
No.
Yeah, even less time in this if this timeline goes down.
Yeah. We're gonna go quick through these questions. What do you think Hagrid is doing? What do you think Hagrid is up to?
Man, I can't figure that out either.
Yeah.
What would he be trying to do?
It has
This would
to
be big,
in the
right?
in the Forbidden Forest with some kind of big animal. I'm
With a
thinking.
creature?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So he's not using magic to go somewhere far away. You think it's close
Could
by?
it be unicorns?
Are unicorns?
Want they
Everything
fighters?
to be
Yeah, how like are unicorns
Jen's
bad?
like,
Why would they
"Please, crossing
hurt him?
information.
No, I
It's
don't
gonna
think
be
they're bad,
unicorns.
but their blood is important. But
Yeah.
they would
She's
already
so
be on his
upset
side, is
with the
basically what we're
Centaur.
saying.
Thinking, but I'm not sure. Huh?
Jen is leaving Hogwarts because it wasn't a unicorn; it was a centaur, Centaurian.
Oh, they're so pretty. Both of them.
Yeah, what is Hagrid up to?
Is he trying to wrangle some weird creature
Yeah.
for good to fight for them? Is he going back to the giants and trying to convince them or something?
At first, maybe.
But how could he? No, he can't use magic to get
The
there.
only thing is, like, wouldn't he be more beat up? Like, he has bruises and stuff that look bad, but I feel like if it was giants, it would be.
But the fact that Firenze knows what he's doing, it must be in the forest, right?
Yeah.
So something in the forest.
And then I was like, could it be a
back
dragon?
with the spiders?
Spiders. Could it be a
We
different
haven't
creature
seen a
we haven't
natural
even met?
dragon, unless he got Norbert back. He's trying to train him.
Wow.
That'd be bold.
Intense.
Umbridge would know about that, right?
Imagine Hagrid gets sacked and then he pulls out and flies away on Norbert.
It's a baller move right there. Yeah, I'm
But
not
it's
sure,
not
but he's
gonna
taking a
work.
beating, and whatever it is not going to work. That's what's weird.
But it sounded like multiple to me. No?
Multiple
Creatures.
could be.
He's trying to convince.
We'll see, maybe.
Mm.
Maybe.
Huh.
All these maybe sound like.
Okay, but the DA, they have a meeting. They all get caught. This is kind of some of the stuff that happens after. First of all, did you ever think they were going to get caught? Go ahead.
I just thought it was really interesting. I thought this room changed to whoever walked into the room to what they needed. So Umbridge needed to find their defense meeting hall. So she actually walked into their defense meeting hall, or would she have seen something else? In my mind, I was like, oh, it doesn't even matter if she opened the door. She's not getting into their room. She's getting into a different room that she needs.
It's a great question.
I thought they should have just stayed in the room and not done anything, and then no one else would be able to get in. But then I'm like, oh, maybe that's not how it works. If you know where it is, you could like do some kind of spell to reveal
I know,
it.
that's what I was like.
Or
I
like
found
they
it
know
so
that they have to walk
strange.
by 3 times, and then Umbridge would get to open the door. It felt weird.
I just thought it constantly changed because whoever needed a room would get their own type of room. I don't know. If
Yeah,
that makes
and
sense.
even just the room itself. No,
So
I
then
don't
I
know.
was thinking, because she wanted to find that room, is that the only reason why it opened? If she was in a mindset of like, oh, let me see, I don't know, a different mindset,
yeah.
not trying
Right.
to find them, would she have walked into a different room?
That's the impression that I get. And I think just because she had a determinedness to find what they were doing, I think that's what it maybe came down to. But it should be like the Marauders map when you are trying to like reveal it by any other improper way. It should just like
Yeah.
say, oh, you know,
Mhm.
Umbridge, you're the
Or-
worst. We're not letting you into this
Couldn't
room.
they have put like a spell on it to not allow like adults in? Or
That should have been what one of their requirements were. I think one of the requirements were that they didn't want to get caught, but I'm actually curious how all that went down, because Pansy Parkinson just walked into the room and grabbed that little thing off. Like, they didn't get caught in the room, but Pansy Parkinson was able to walk into the room, figure out what they were doing, and she grabbed the thing off the board of the list of names.
that's how that happened. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Like-
Umbridge didn't go in the room.
No, they all scattered, but she could have, because Pansy Parkinson went into the room.
But if you just said that they couldn't get caught was one of their things.
Oh, that's a great point. Maybe they're
Maybe
thing was
only
Umbridge
because
doesn't
a
wanna get caught
student
then.
had to
That's
get.
a great. Maybe she wrote that loophole in specifically, because they all scattered. They all ran. Harry walks back in because Dobby comes in. And he tells them
Pansy
all to run.
Parkinson is the one that pulled the list to give
So
to
they
Umbridge.
were in Dumbledore's office, and then all of a sudden they don't have anything going for them because
I must have missed something.
what's his name? Kingsley had all this. He like confunded the girl, and she couldn't think of, like, I think he like modified her memory, which is slightly strange.
I thought it was an Imperious, to be honest.
I know.
And I was like, that's dark.
Yeah, I know. It
All
was
right, that's a
getting
little
strange.
better.
Yeah, it was more like I think it was not a confundus charm, but like he kind of obliviated her, I think, to a small extent, modified her memory, and she couldn't, like, they were asking her questions and she couldn't figure out what some of the answers were. So they had nothing going for them, and then all of a sudden they come out with this list that Miss Parkinson had gotten, and that's how they screwed them over, because it said Dumbledore's army on the top, and that's why Dumbledore goes, okay, fine, here's my full confession. They were going to get away scot-free because
I know.
they said they were never meeting. The girl said, oh, no, we didn't meet, all that kind of stuff. They were going to
But
get
the
away,
lists
and then
are
all of a
named.
sudden this list screws him over.
I can't believe they wrote Dumbledore's army though.
I know.
Yeah, it does seem a
Amateur
little
hour.
sloppy. Again, with all these code words and whatever. And now I'm just
Dumbledore
thinking,
doesn't know everything,
yeah, it's true.
but he's really quick.
Yeah, quick-witted. He comes up with plans like that.
So yeah, this is what happens. I have some of this written down. We'll talk about this. It goes, Potter was the leader, was he not? Potter organized it. Potter, why are you shaking your head, girl? Well, usually when a person shakes their head, says Professor McGonagall coldly, they mean no. So unless Miss Edgecombe is using a form of sign language as yet unknown to humans, Professor Umbridge seized
good.
Marietta, pulled her round to her face, and began shaking her very hard. A split second later, Dumbledore was on his feet, his wand raised. Kingsley started forward, and Umbridge leapt back from Marietta, waving her hand in the air as though they had been burned. I cannot allow you to manhandle my students, Dolores, said Dumbledore, and for the first time he looked angry. Woo! Woof.
Woof, indeed.
That was a good one too.
Yeah, that is a great one. Did Dumbledore actually burn her hands?
Yeah, I
Yeah?
think so. I think he put.
I
some
couldn't
kind
tell
of
if he did
spell.
actively, but yeah, I thought it might have been a spell that he like to protect all the students from physical
Yeah.
harm. Might have been, but he also
He did it in that moment, not on all.
oh,
of
you
them.
think so? Just like
Well,
in that
because
moment.
Harry got
spell
pulled
of
by
protection.
Voldemort, the professor.
Yeah, you're right. They've been through a lot, these
Professor.
students.
I'm
So
so
in that
bad
moment,
at
you think Dumbledore was just like, boom, burnt hands. Why not? Yeah, you're right. Because he's
a-
protecting the students. It's his job.
I wish she could have done the same spell she does for the kids' punishment, though. Burn
Yeah,
her
for
hands,
real.
and then
Oh,
on the
yeah,
back
yeah.
says,
I must not shake students.
Yeah,
Must
yeah.
not shake students. That'd be great. One thing in the chat, because I need to say this because this is so good. Calvin is coming up with some zingers tonight. A new name for McGonagall, McSassigal. Because she's so sassy. I love it. That's so
I
good.
love this.
Yeah, she is very sassy. It's so awesome.
Yeah, she is so good in these
When
chapters.
someone shakes their head.
This is another moment that we get, and we'll talk about this all together. Let me read like 2 more lines. I will now be escorted back to the ministry, where you'll be formally charged, then sent to Azkaban to await trial. Ah, said Dumbledore gently. Yes, I thought we might hit that little snag. Snag? Said Fudge, his voice still vibrating with joy. I see no snag, Dumbledore. Well, said Dumbledore apologetically, I'm afraid I do. Oh, really? Well, it's just that you seem to be laboring under the delusion that I am going to... What's the phrase? Come quietly. I'm afraid I'm not going to come quietly at all, Cornelius. I have absolutely no intention of being sent to Azkaban. I could break out, of course, but what a waste of time. And frankly, I can think of a whole host of things I would rather be doing.
Gosh, I love him.
That was
Yeah, what are your
so
thoughts on
good.
Dumbledore here?
So great.
Whole new side of him.
I know.
Oh,
It
it's so
shows like
good.
his power too.
Yes.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. He felt younger when he was saying this. Like, not
true.
the same
Yeah.
old Dumbledore, you know?
Yep. And it's not only like his power in magic, it's just his power in words. Like he's just so
Yep.
confident saying, I could break out. It's like nothing. Come on. That'd be simple.
Mm-hmm.
And he would break out even without a wand because they take
A
your wand.
waste of time.
This guy is good.
It's cool to see like his power in magic too, because we don't see it, we just
Yep.
hear about it, and Voldemort we're seeing it. So
Yeah.
that I liked.
Because this moment where he like stuns
Use-
everyone
yeah,
at
in
the
like a second.
drop of a hat.
My goodness.
So good. And he like even does it to Kingsley too, because he doesn't want to raise suspicions. And then he goes, I'm not leaving to go into hiding. Fudge will soon wish he'd never dislodged me from Hogwarts, I promise you.
That was so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Let's go!
And I feel like since he hasn't really been in this book so much, it holds that much more weight.
Agreed. That's so good.
So good.
It was also interesting how he like Harry. He's still guiding Harry in the conversation without looking at him, and the
Right.
slightest like head tilt
Mhm.
before all this went
Yeah.
down too.
Yep.
Because Harry was just gonna say yes and confess.
Yeah.
I know.
Which is so crazy.
Because he actually didn't know why he was there exactly.
You're right.
He had an idea.
Like, stay silent at least. I'm not saying you have to deny, but like,
Innocent until proven guilty.
man, other people are at stake here. Like, don't
Yeah.
just go running in and
I feel like that
claiming
still
it.
is a flaw in Harry, though, is that he just maybe he's not completely open about that stuff, but he's very proud of it. And
Yeah.
he cannot shut up.
And they were going to use that pride against him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
That's how they were gonna
expecting
screw
him
him
to
over.
just confess when he walked in.
Yep.
And he literally would have if he didn't look at Dumbledore.
This is the last line in the chapter. Professor McGonagall said nothing, but marched Harry and Marietta to the door. As it swung closed behind them, Harry heard Phineas Nigelus's voice. You know, Minister, I disagree with Dumbledore on many counts, but you cannot deny he's got style.
So good.
Such a good last line. What do you think about everything that happened in this office right here? Any
So unexpected.
Yeah, I know, right?
I didn't think it was going to happen that fast that Dumbledore would like be gone.
Mm-hmm.
But then he also said, please work on the occlumency
Yep.
with Harry.
Yeah.
And that made me think not good things. It made me think that he was going to confront Voldemort and potentially see them fighting. And someone was going to get hurt. And he didn't want Harry to see that. So in my mind, I was like, he wants him to practice the occlumency so he doesn't see Dumbledore getting hurt.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is an interesting thought.
Because he said, please practice hard. I don't know. That made me think.
That is very possible. In my mind, Dumbledore doesn't think he can take on Voldemort. And maybe he can't.
That Dumbledore can't or Harry can't.
Dumbledore can't. And maybe that's... Because I'm just assuming if Dumbledore thought he could defeat Voldemort, he would have already. Or there's a reason
But
he's
he
not.
couldn't the first time when he was younger, right? Only Harry did.
I guess you're right, but it felt, in my mind at the beginning, I thought maybe Voldemort was doing this all in the shadows. He was kind of on the run. Dumbledore was still more powerful than him. I might just be making that up, though. But it's just making me think Dumbledore's not going after Voldemort directly right now. But maybe he is. Maybe he needs to die. But he can do something in that process.
Also, he said Fudge will regret this. So that makes me also think that Fudge is on the dark side.
Yeah, what is Dumbledore really going to be doing right now?
Yeah, that's what I can't figure out what he's going to do. He could go
Or he
to the
can
Giants and try and
Could he
convince him.
convince everyone else against Fudge in the Ministry of Magic?
Yeah, how
Or
could he do that? Like
reveal
a sneaky
something?
way to do
Yeah.
that. Like, is there something he could do to expose everything?
Right, that's what I was thinking.
I'm trying to think of things that would be hard to do as headmaster, but now he could go and do.
Or maybe
that's the part
what
I can't-
he meant, though, too.
Vandalism. He's just going to become a vandal.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Magic.
But maybe
Full
he can
vigilante.
harm people that he wasn't
I mean,
able to
even this is
before.
more intense than I expected in general. Like
They
from
both deserved it so much.
well, yeah, but even like brainwashing a child and even lying felt a little bit strange.
Yeah.
But I liked it. But it felt more like
You like liars.
no, but I like that they were willing to because it makes them more complex characters.
Yes.
I was a little disappointed at first, but it's like trying to think of
It's what Sirius said. Like, that's why this book is so good, because the world is split into good people and Death Eaters, and the book proves that by them lying and trying to get out of this way in non-perfect ways. Like, they can't escape this. So Dumbledore has to tell Harry to lie through this in order to save himself and do other things. It's not perfect and idealistic. You're not going to do everything great and wonderful. So, yeah, they're lying, but it's for the greater good, as you always say.
the greater good.
Would it be so bad if Harry got expelled?
Yeah,
What is he really learning?
I know,
He's
right?
teaching the kids defense against the dark
a good
arts.
one.
And then I was like, well, he could just set up shop at Hogsmeade and all the kids come to take tutoring
Set up a
lessons. And
rival
if he's
school.
expelled, whatever. I don't know. It
Harry
just, to me, I
Warts.
was like,
That's gross.
Yeah, that is.
what? I missed
The
it.
rival
not a
school
good
to
name.
Hogwarts is going to be Harry Warts.
Oh, God.
Sounds really bad. Not your best work.
Potter. You should have said Potter.
Yeah.
Potter Warts.
I always thought he should start a
The
ceramic shop.
Hogwarts is
Hogwarts is
actually
at
the
yeah,
end.
but
Pottery.
it is at Hogwarts, and we
Nice.
love
I know.
it.
Well, that works.
No, it
If
doesn't.
you're putting a name in,
a Hogwart.
Oh, well, now it's ruined.
Ugh.
Sorry.
Any
What?
other
No.
any other
Like-
things in this chapter, guys?
Thinking.
It was just so good. I finally felt good about a chapter.
There was just one thing I wanted to clarify.
Finally.
Um,
Oh boy.
no, Fudge was kind of not quite monologuing, but he was going through a little bit of Dumbledore's past and like downplaying things that Dumbledore has done in the past. And I'm not sure if this is something we saw or if Fudge misspoke or if it's a reference to something sneaky. He said he's kind of like dismissing what Dumbledore is saying. He's saying, or is this one of the usual simple explanations involving reversal of time, a dead man coming back to life,
Oh, yeah.
and a couple of invisible Dementors? Invisible Dementors, we're talking about the ones that attacked Harry, that we're not sure if they were real or not. Okay, cool. Dead man coming back to life, Voldemort. Reversal of time,
Hermione.
is that what he was referencing? Did Dumbledore explain that to Fudge?
Do you think the Ministry of
That's a
Magic
great question.
can see every time someone uses it?
I don't know.
And then McGonagall got permission
She-
from the Ministry of Magic.
Right. She
Right.
got permission, and that's different. Or maybe I just didn't think of that as being reversal of time. I thought of that as like redoing, just like a little different. So that's why I'm asking, like, am I reading into that word too much? Because when I read reversal of time, I was like, we haven't seen that. Is this something with Harry's parents? Is this something from earlier in the Fudge Dumbledore relationship? That's why he mentions it first. Was this from the first time Voldemort was rising to power, or something else we never even heard about that was happening in these books but behind the scenes? I don't know. I'd have to go back and see.
What,
But you're
like-
thinking Fudge knew about everything with Hermione and the Time Turner?
Or such a wild theory. He reversed time where Harry like survives. the
Like Harry
kill.
was killed the first time,
Yeah.
and Dumbledore
Interfered
reversed time and then
and then saved Harry from dying. And then now Harry can't look at Dumbledore in the eye because they have some kind of connection too.
So you're saying currently, like within this book, Dumbledore reversed time at some point
No, when Harry was a baby.
when he was a baby, but he looked him in the eye other times.
No, I'm saying because now Voldemort is full power. So they all three have a connection.
Wow. All right, we're going all the way into this
Why
rabbit hole.
not? Well, you just said reversal of time. We never
No,
seen
you're
it.
right.
Was it Harry's parents' time? And then I'm like, well, if
And-
we're going
and
to go
I'm
down
just-
that rabbit hole.
I'm not sold that that was the Hermione thing, because in my mind, Fudge didn't know that that's how everything was solved at the end of that book, with Hermione and Harry going back and doing all those things with
He
time,
might
the
know
Time
now.
Turner. Maybe.
Maybe he's
Or maybe
seen
he never even thought twice. It was just Hermione used a Time Turner
Yeah,
that
but-
semester. Yeah.
Malfoy. Sirius escaped. And Lucius Malfoy knows that Sirius is alive somewhere. That
Yeah.
doesn't really
They all know he escaped.
answer that, though.
Yeah, and Dumbledore had to play dumb, so that nobody would be held responsible for Sirius's escape. So it was as if Harry and Hermione were in the hospital wing that whole time. So that's why I'm just like, this reversal thing feels bigger, but I can't figure out why. And also,
How much bigger?
how much bigger? And that's part of why I said at the beginning when time travel came up, I'm like, that is such a power. I feel like we have to see it again. You can't introduce something like that and then just drop it. And this is the only other time it's come up, though. So maybe I'm just latching onto it. I'm like,
I don't know. You
what's
love
this mean?
time turners, so that's why you're
And
latching onto
polyjuice.
it.
I know. Danny's got his obsession with time turners. So
Because it's fast.
time turners and polyjuice. We don't know who's who. It could still be this whole Mission Impossible thing where they're ripping off their.
That's why Dumbledore is acting more like Sirius right now.
So
Is that
they're
because you want to have polyjuice and a time turner in your life?
I don't think so. I think we're probably better not having them. But I mean, maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, you were asking a question?
No, that you guys are just coming up with really interesting questions that even people on chat have never heard talked about before. That's like wild to me. What?
Really?
I'm
They
just
never
laughing at
heard?
myself because they're asking all these questions, and I'm over here wondering how the heck long are Pravarti's eyelashes.
I thought the same thing.
Oh, because she's
Those are
twirling
mine.
Wrapping them around her
Yeah,
wand.
that was a little wild.
How
She's
long
got
are they?
Well, she must have done a
Luscious
spell. Right?
Eyebrows. Gandalf eyebrows. My dog has
Oh my
the most
goodness,
luxurious
yeah.
eyelashes
Oh, yeah. That's true.
known to humanity. I've actually had to trim them because they were
Oh my
I
god.
was
Getting
That is-
stuck open. Oh.
no, they were like literally like it was. I feel like he was annoyed by it because they kept going down in front of his eye.
Oh.
They were very
That
long
is so
and pretty.
funny. They were so long. You could see them from like
Yeah.
multiple feet
Yep.
away. But she's curling her eyelashes with her wand.
I was laughing. That's what I'm wondering. You guys are like,
We're trying to
No, but that's such a
what the
fair
time turner
question.
is, and you're like, why does she have long
Wait,
eyelashes?
Hermione does the melting spell with her wand, right? So wands could double as curling irons, right? That'd be
No one
Handy.
curls their eyelashes.
like how like
no, but I mean the
Well,
length. But I just meant
actually,
in general for
claws.
hair. You know what I
wait,
mean?
but people do the eye. Well, you don't because you have really nice long eyelashes too. But you do the
Thanks.
eyelash
do you say that
curler, and you put the hair dryer. You make it hot, and then you crimp them.
That makes sense.
sorry.
Yeah.
But she just did that jinx to make her eyelashes grow. Like the one that was used against the Gryffindor girl with her eyebrows to block her eyes by the Slytherins. She did that on her eyelashes because of Valentine's Day, maybe.
Ooh, why do you
Get the
think
guy's
of this
attention.
stuff?
Yeah.
But that'd be so weird if you like accidentally just hit your eye or something, and your eye starts like.
Ew.
Accidentally do a bad spell on your eye. Conjunctivitis
Ugh.
curse. Oh, that'd be awful.
Ew.
Okay, let's wrap it up. Favorite moment? Speed round. You got to give me these quick. You can't go into long detail about them because we're already
When
starting
One,
at
Umbridge,
9:30.
anything.
Favorite moment? Favorite? Who wins the House Cup? Who's your favorite character in these 3 chapters? And then who wins the Hot Tamale Award?
Oh yeah.
Dumbledore is my favorite because he gives it to Fudge and Umbridge, and that's also my favorite moment.
I'm just hoping, crossing my fingers, of who your Hot Tamale Award is.
I didn't get to think that fast.
I have 2 options for that.
Oh yeah, the Centaur.
Yes.
It took me a second. I had to process all the chapters.
What a babe. What
Well,
a babe.
The little cherubs were cute too.
Wow, not even Roger Davies, the
He was
cherubs.
my other
There were
Oh,
a lot
nice.
of, yeah, there were a lot of
Hot
tamales in this,
tamale.
Well, how did
Lips
is he
glued
good
together.
looking, or he
Roger,
just
I
makes
don't know.
out
Oh,
with
he
everyone?
must be.
for it.
He got floor.
Yeah, this dude must be
Oh
the best
my
looking guy
goodness,
at Hogwarts.
yeah.
Why doesn't she explain them more?
You want more
He's in the
details?
middle of a restaurant just making out with her.
So you want to be her?
Sure.
I wonder if they actually illustrated him in the books in the 2nd book or in the 4th book. I gotta check my illustrated versions.
What, them making out?
No, to see if
Is
Just Roger
Davies
in
is
general.
illustrated.
Oh,
'Cause
He
I
must
have
not be a character in
yeah.
the movies.
Yeah.
We'll
No,
see.
he's in the Goblet of Fire, but he's
Just briefly
really brief. Yeah.
during the Yule Ball
think
or
when they're
something.
dancing or
Yeah,
when they're
okay,
eating
yeah.
oh,
something
that's
like that.
right.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
The Velas. Oh,
I know
shoot.
he attracted the Vila.
I just thought, could Hagrid be doing that? Anyways.
Ooh.
Doing what?
Could he be doing what?
Velas.
Oh god.
He's doing the Velas.
I
What?
love this after hours stuff we're going into right now.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh boy.
Getting them on board. Anyways, that's not really creature. They're like humanish. Fairy.
I think so. I hope so.
Remember
I'm
we were,
not following anything.
it's alright. I'm not making sense, so it's fine.
My favorite moment, the
Yeah.
stuff at the end with Dumbledore, was epic. I'm trying to think if I can get more specific than that in those final moments. But no, just something about his presence. The way he said everything was just awesome.
Yeah.
So he has to get the House Cup from me because he was the one doing all these awesome things. Yeah, I think that it's just got to be Dumbledore. Hot tamale. I was leaning Roger. Yeah.
Roger Davies is.
He was
Not
crushing
Raider
it.
Skeeter.
Should have think of something else. Those are bad too.
Wait, Roger and the Centaur.
The Centaur.
There's a lot of hot tamales. What about Padma or Pavarti twirling her eyelashes?
Well, you will like that
Trelawny.
because Wes had long eyelashes. So.
Trelawney.
It's not really a hot tamale, but a mess.
You just want to make her hot.
No.
Luna.
She's great.
Honestly, Luna almost.
She,
If
is
she
like,
did a
these
little bit
chapters?
more, just because she
In
was
that
there
first chapter when
hooking
she's
up
sitting with
the Quibbler
Hermione,
thing, and I
with
was
Rita,
like, all right, cool.
And she's like talking about her dad's paper,
Oh.
and she said something.
Yeah.
She randomly goes, "Weasley is king."
Oh yeah, she was like
Singing her
singing
song
under
in
her
forgot about
breath.
that.
In her own world, she's such a great.
Yeah,
She's great.
I just like her, but she's not worthy of the hot tamale right now.
Yeah.
No, she didn't stand out to me for that.
But there were some hot tamales.
Mm.
Even Kingsley.
Kingsley's a stud.
Aren't these all men?
I hope Idris Elba plays him.
Oh, I know.
You're allowed to
can't-
say you're same sex. You're right.
Yeah,
It's fair.
I said
We've been
Ron was the
picking,
hot tamale
yeah.
last chapter.
Oh, it's
Ron was a
true.
babe.
We were picking the girls.
Well, girls are pretty. She explains them more, like descriptive, than the guys.
Wait, Kristen, did you give all yours?
No, are you done?
We stole.
Yeah, I'm done.
Like, are you done?
Are you done?
I just said that like that.
That's
I
because we
can't.
listed
Can you talk for
everything.
I'm trying to think of what your hot tamale and your favorite moment were in these chapters, but there
Rita
weren't a
as
lot
a
of, like homey moments in these chapters.
Rita as a
No.
beetle.
Rita Beetle.
Rita as a beetle would be your hot tamale because you want
She
it to
wants
be
to
a
be a
fly
fly.
on the wall.
Why would that be hot tamale?
Oh, just let
I
it
don't know.
ride.
I'll just stick with the Centaurian or Roger Davies. Those were my two picks.
Although, Cho coming up to Harry afterwards, slipping her hand into his hand, whispering in his ear.
Yeah,
That was pretty hot.
that was
It's pretty hot.
that was hot. I'm not gonna lie.
That was hot tamale stuff right there.
when I forget when that was.
It was after the Quibbler article came out, and then it clicked for Cho how everything happened. That's why you were meeting with Hermione, whatever. Oh my goodness, you went through all that. I didn't understand. And honestly, Harry didn't explain the whole story that much to her.
I'm
So
telling you, yeah.
this was her first chance to really soak in all the details of what happened to Cedric. And processing all that and seeing what Harry had been through, then she believes him even more. Then she's like swooning over Harry. So it was a kind of like everything seems cool with them now.
Wait, you gave the hot tamale to Cho right before?
No, I was kind of like Roger Davies, but that was a
Okay.
little bit of a joke. But then
to Roger.
afterwards, I'm like, you know what? Cho is more worthy of
Yeah.
it.
That moment
Are you
is
taking Cho then?
Yeah, unless you were going to. As long as she gets something. Oh, yeah, Cho. Lock it in.
Fuck.
I was gonna lock that in too. I'm with Danny. That's a sexy moment right there where all of
Yeah.
a sudden she believes Harry, goes up to him and you're looking at me like I'm crazy, Jen.
No,
like,
I understand what you're saying, but she's not doing it for the right reasons. I feel like I don't know.
Well,
It's
I
just like,
feel
oh,
like
he's
that was
famous
so pure
now.
right
and-
there.
No.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Where
I
was-
feel like
where
you could
was
just say, like, she could just be like, oh, Harry, like after all this stuff comes out.
This is what my.
He's-
Go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to
Okay,
interrupt you.
it's fine. It's better when I'm interrupted
gotta wait
because I
5
can't
seconds.
talk.
This is what I thought of it. I thought they were pretty much broken up after that. Like they weren't in any kind of relationship.
Okay.
Where like the first date went so poorly
Yeah.
that she was like, I'm
Not
not doing
gonna
this
happen.
guy again.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden this story comes out, and then Harry is like hopeless. He's sad, and all of a sudden this girl comes up, grabs your hand, like
Yeah.
whispers in your ear, "Thanks for telling the story. You're so brave." My heart, dude, is going, whoa! Oh my god!
Her hand was in his, and she was breathing in his ear. I'm really, really sorry.
Oh my gosh! What an apology.
I don't really.
And then she says that interview was so brave. It made me cry. So she's getting vulnerable. She's validating his
How many other
feelings
girls could say
and
the
breathing
same
in his
thing?
ear.
I
What
don't
more
know.
could you
I don't
want?
like it. Nope.
You were out defending Cho before, and now you're.
Oh, it's okay. I can change my mind.
We're just out here
It's
trying to
just
support the hot
everything
tamale
you like.
women,
I
you
want
know?
to
was gonna
say
say,
the
yeah,
opposite.
you're just a
Wow, you're
contrarian
playing
for
devil's
me.
advocate too. I'm so proud.
No.
Oh gosh. Well. Did I say anything?
Not yet.
Any of your stuff yet? I don't think I've said any of my stuff yet.
You interrupt.
All right. Dumbledore wins the House Cup. Yeah. I'll go with Roger Davies. And favorite moment. I was gonna say the last part of the last chapter, but where Lee Jordan goes back at Umbridge.
Oh, that was so good.
It's a good moment.
That part.
Oh yeah.
There, I'm done. All right.
I'm surprised you
Alright.
didn't say the lying and looking
good.
up
You
at
know
the
what to talk about.
stars in the classroom.
I think my favorite character might be McGonagall in these. I think she's great.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yep.
Hot tamale, I'm going for Cho. I don't know if I have a favorite moment in these ones. I think maybe the Dumbledore's got style is probably my favorite moment. That's like an all-time line in these
I'm
books.
surprised you didn't go for Neville.
He's not a...
Stepped it up in
Oh,
the,
yeah.
in the
Okay,
DA.
I give it to Neville. Neville's a hot tamale, my
Oh,
favorite character.
man,
And my
yeah.
favorite chapters.
Wait, what was,
He was
Neville?
Well, he was just crushing it in
He
the
did
DA.
really well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
Bellatrix
forgot
is
about
let out of
that.
prison. That was a really good moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then no one mastered... what was the spell?
Oh.
They were practicing a spell and no one mastered it faster than Neville except for Hermione.
Except
Yeah.
Hermione, yeah.
I forgot what it was though.
He's really getting
Yeah, me
there.
too.
I
I
know.
feel like that whole hospital scene really helped with his grandma saying, "How dare you, like, not share this information? Your parents would, they didn't lose their minds for a wimp, basically."
Right.
It felt like.
The shield charm.
And now he knows that.
Protego.
Okay, so that's Protego.
Oh, but
yeah.
then because she
Yeah.
she's out of Azkaban too. The one that did it.
Bellatrix, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
And now he's
Yeah.
motivated, but he was still having a hard time with the Patronus. And in
That's
my
hard.
mind, he was having a hard time coming up with happy memories,
Right.
maybe, which really, it was sad. I was like, oh, man. And it feels like there's, I won't say anger, but there's a lot going on in his head. So focusing on the happy memories he's having a hard time with, but all the other stuff he was crushing, which I think is awesome. So go Neville.
Go Neville.
I liked hearing all their different animals for the Patronuses too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That was kind of neat.
What would yours
Yeah.
be
Wait,
again?
what were they?
It
So-
was a beaver, was
Hermione was an otter.
Hermione
Oh, an
was an
otter.
otter.
whatever. They look the same.
But an otter is probably cuter, right?
Otter is way cuter than a beaver. Imagine Hermione's.
I just said that was my team.
Whoa!
That's why it would be fitting.
That would be actually really fitting. I know. Come on, that's not harsh.
Well, she doesn't have it anymore. So.
Yeah,
true.
exactly. That's why she's an otter now. It used to be a beaver.
Oh my goodness. And then
And wait, what
Cho
was the
was
other
a
one?
swan.
Swan.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Yep.
And then everyone else just had a little glimmer of silver.
Yeah, they weren't there
What
yet.
were your guys' Patronuses again?
I was a hare.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. I was a cat.
Was I a wolf?
Was that a cat?
You making that up?
I don't remember.
I mean, that's a
why
really
I'm
cool
asking.
Patronus.
Yeah.
That'd be great,
I had a
but
cool one.
that feels like
I was a fox, which is like my favorite.
yeah,
animal.
that's so
Such a good
cool.
one.
That
It
works.
was. I thought it was like some kind of
It was some kind of dog, wasn't it?
like a wild.
A dog would make sense. A wild dog?
Wild
a
dogs is
dingo?
cool, yeah.
No, I'm saying a wolf, but you don't want it.
No, maybe. I didn't. A woof, woof, woof.
He doesn't want me to be because it's too.
No,
cool.
I just feel like I would have remembered. I feel like I would have remembered because that's so
Gonna
awesome.
eat you.
Then he's got it all written down somewhere.
I was just gonna double check my own. I think it was like a brown hair, but where's my app?
I feel like the app. I have a screenshot in my photo album. When was this conversation? July.
Like last year when we first started.
We got people saying they're weasels over here. A weasel would be kind of cool.
A weasel. Interesting.
Have you guys gotten any? We're just side questioning here. Have you been told that you are? What's your spirit animal? In other words, me. I remember this conversation when I was in college. So me and my college friends were like about to fall asleep. We were delirious. It was real late at night, and we were just going over what everyone's animal was, and we were like thinking of different animals for different people. And there was one kid, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, he would be a possum. And all of us just died laughing. We're like, yes, he would be a possum. And we came up with the animals for all of us. One of my friends was a bear because he was unbelievably hairy. I think they said I was a prairie dog just because I was really tall.
Yep.
Prairie dog. I
Yeah.
can't not hear
I don't
from
think I've ever
Rat
had
Race.
somebody tell me
Oh,
what kind of animal I am.
wow. Jen, you're going to get jealous. Toodles is a unicorn. That's what their Patronus is.
Yeah, that's so great.
I am jealous.
Weird. Did I?
Someone is a marsh harrier. What is that?
A what?
Is that a dog? I'm going to look that up.
A marsh harrier?
I'm probably going to edit it. It's a hawk. That thing is so cool.
Oh,
That thing is fierce looking.
Never heard of that.
Everyone go Google a marsh harrier. It's pretty cool. I got to edit probably all this out of the
Whoa.
podcast. But anyway, thanks for joining us on the journey of Harry Potter and the first time readers.
Yay.
Until next time.
Wait, you gave all your stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I gave favorite
I
moment.
could. Oh, your favorite moment,
We
yeah.
just changed it all to Neville stuff, though.
The brown hair, yes, indeed.
Yeah, do you remember what yours was,
Found
Jen?
it.
No, but I'm pretty sure it was like a coyote, a wolf, or like some kind of.
I have a faint recollection that it was something like that.
It was
too,
some
but-
kind of dog. Because I was a cat. Some kind of cat.
We'll go back and find that episode.
I don't remember. I thought I had a screenshot. I sent. Oh gosh, it's probably in this group chat. Like.
Yeah,
years
just look up all the
ago.
info. I think we sent it to each other. So
Yeah, I think I have a screenshot. And now I am curious. So I'm determined to find it.
Well.
I think we do have it though because there's a picture of you when you got into your house and your face
Oh, yeah.
is in that. Yeah,
Wearing the sorting hat.
there it is.
yeah, that was
Excellent.
so good.
Oh my gosh. Mine deletes a lot.
I still think it's not hilarious. It's actually really sad that we were planning to get this done at the beginning of this year and go to Disney.
I was supposed to have already
Universal,
been at
right?
Universal.
But then
We
I
had it in
stepped
our
in
calendars
and
and
screwed
everything.
everything over. But come on. We're running a successful podcast right now, guys.
Excellent.
I'm so. I
good night.
want to know.
Ooh,
Do
I
you think you
wanna
still have
know.
it?
Did you literally just start singing that?
Yes.
Wow.
Excellent.
One of the all-time greatest soundtracks of a movie
Oh,
ever.
Phil Collins is the man.
I know. Maybe second to like Prince of Egypt. Greatest soundtrack of all time.
Man, I don't think it's in here. I thought it would be in here.
Just go to you have it probably logged onto Wizarding World. Wizardingworld.com.
Wait, you don't have the app?
I just deleted mine.
Yeah.
God.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
to get
There's
rid of
only
some
so
apps.
much
I'll
upload
space.
some.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Using that
do
one.
I?
But it's under Harry Potter, not Wizarding World. That's why it took me so long to find. Um,
Nope. Only our podcast.
but if you try and log in, it will probably refresh all your stuff.
Mm. Ooh, yeah. Calvin Tarzan is a pretty sexy cartoon character. Darn right. Yeah. Hold on.
We're going back to
Hold on.
sexy
Fair.
Hold on. We have to go back to this. Because, yes, the horse from Spirit is very sexy. Nala is very sexy. But who was your first animated crush? Do you remember?
Who was yours? You sound like you have
Simba.
one.
I don't
On
quite
hand.
remember it. Simba. I was gonna say Nala. There's the one scene that everyone loves where Nala is like in the oasis and she pins Simba and she
Yeah,
like
that's
gives
a
him
good
a look and
one.
everyone is like, woof. Oh my god.
Woo!
It's true. And then like the word sex comes out of it.
Yeah. That's right. Something weird.
Wait, what?
He
It's
did
like
have
the
all
stuff
those
hidden in,
things.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some of those I don't think are real,
I just
I
know.
see.
but
I just know the
A
Little Mermaid
husky.
one.
You got a husky. That's
got a
right.
nice.
That's a great one.
Yeah, that's a really good
That's
one.
Yeah,
Cool.
see, I did. Oh, I must have had them say my login.
Oh, that was the app you just downloaded again, or is that the
No,
website?
the website.
Nice.
Create your portrait. What's that?
You can create a portrait.
What?
The
I've
fourth
done it.
step?
No. I don't know what it is. Is that what Danny did? The
Oh.
No,
portrait
I didn't
thing?
do it. It's like a fourth thing. It said I did 3 out of 4 steps, but I didn't do this one yet.
Oh, that was my face. My face is round.
Hmm.
Like oval.
I gotta show you guys my favorite meme of all time. It's Tarzan
Was that your first cartoon crush?
Tarzan, maybe. Tarzan. It's how he's holding on to this.
With his butt.
Oh, yeah. You might have sent that to us. Yeah, that is great.
It's legitimately the greatest meme I've ever seen in my life because he's holding Jane like this, and he has like the vine by his toe, and they don't show the back view, but the meme shows the back view he created, like clenching his butt cheeks, trying to hold on.
So great.
Oh my goodness. Jane is a babe in that.
Yeah.
That one moment, I think it's like one of the most romantic moments where they're like touching each other's hand, and he pulls the glove off. And they like finally touch hands, and he's like, "I'm a human." It's cute. It's
So
the cute
good.
part.
So cute.
I don't remember that movie.
That was the first CD I ever owned.
Really? The Tarzan?
Yep.
Phil
That
Collins?
and Jimmy Neutron got it at the same time with my new CD player.
Naturally.
And
What
both
a
great albums,
combination.
to be honest.
Oh my gosh.
Jimmy
you put
Neutron?
a cute little
What?
sweater on.
An album?
Yeah. There's Aaron Carter on there, NSYNC,
Really?
Britney Spears, and some throwbacks. Yep.
I did not know that.
What the? This is cool.
What are you
I have
looking
a
at?
Gryffindor sweatshirt on.
Oh,
You're doing your profile thing?
portrait?
Yep. They have the little Christmas ones too. Oh, should I
Oh,
put
that's funny.
a prefect? I probably would be one.
Aladdin,
Weasley is
Justice
our
League
king.
cartoons.
You could put that on.
Yeah, I feel like it was probably
Oh,
The Little
Aladdin.
Mermaid for me.
That's a good one.
Little Mermaid for you?
Oh, Eric was sexy.
I think it was the first movie I saw in theaters, too.
That's definitely true. What's that? Oh, interesting. I want to watch.
Jen's having her own conversation.
Yeah.
Because what is this? They're holding like a snowball. Why would I want to hold a snowball when I can hold a wand?
A
Is that a
snowball?
snowball?
It looks like it, yeah.
Oh wait.
This
maybe
is a
it's
really-
something I'm not supposed to
Sorry.
do.
I don't think so.
Renee
Can I
came
hold
up
a
with a really good
dragon?
point. She says
Cool.
Hermione's Patronus is the name of Ron's hometown.
What?
Otter? Wait, what is this? Hold on. That's got to be a translation thing.
Why? What's the...
Ron is from... Ottery St. Catchful. That's so crazy. I forgot about that. And then she says that dogs, which are Ron's Patronus, are known to chase Hermione's. Wait, Ron's Patronus is a dog, right?
What was the background?
Wow,
Look, you can even
Oh my
have-
gosh, the Rangers are going into overtime.
That's such a cool point.
Ooh, I like
That would be
this still.
John.
Oh, wait, Ron's is a Jack Russell Terrier. That's kind of
Oh,
cute.
there's a lot more than I
Oh.
thought. What do you do with it then?
It's just your profile picture. Oh, I could be in front of the
Renee, are you Australian?
fireplace.
And do you have any other like translation things in Harry Potter? I'm actually really curious about that. I can't wait to show you guys when you finish. I think Vox did the video on Harry Potter and the Translator's Nightmare. Or something
Oh,
like
yeah,
I
that
think it was
sounds
mentioned,
really fascinating.
where they had to translate things different. Really tough. Anyway,
Wait, why do I have gray hair?
Gave you gray hair?
Didn't you choose that? I was wondering. I thought you liked
No.
it.
Hold on, I'm gonna edit that again. There's so many Christmas backgrounds on it. It's pretty funny.
I want to watch
It
Tarzan
says when we
now.
joined June 28th,
Such a good soundtrack.
2022, which was
I
last
don't
year.
remember anything about that movie,
Really?
which makes me wonder if I've seen it.
Oh, my
Gosh,
goodness.
Tarzan and the first time watcher.
Yeah.
I'd be like, why is my hair? Oh, there we go. I didn't realize.
Start our little branch off podcast.
I
I
know.
started making a list of
There
movies
we
that I
go.
need to
That
watch
looks more like me.
because
It
I've never
does,
seen
yep.
Mulan either.
Oh,
Mulan's good. Not the live one. That's terrible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, live one is awful. I can't watch any of the live ones because I think they're all terrible.
None of them?
I don't think any of them are good. Like some of them, I think people said Beauty and the Beast was okay.
That was, I loved
Yeah,
that
that
one.
was-
Yeah, that
The
was...
live action one.
Yeah.
okay.
I thought
I don't think it was
Emma
better.
Watson
I like The
is
Lion
a
King, too.
terrible Belle. I thought that was one of the worst
That's
casts.
because you like her as Harry Potter.
I mean, I like her as Hermione, yeah, but I don't think she's a Belle.
And
Who would be a Belle?
That's a great question. No one.
That's my favorite.
No one. Well, there's your
I'll be
answer.
Belle. For
No,
my
that's actually a really good question. Who?
I like the Cinderella live action.
Someone who's
too.
a little calmer. She's her
But she's
Emma
Great
Watson
point. You're
is-
right.
woman.
She's like too high strung. She's
Too
much
energetic.
of a Hermione, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Belle in the animated ones, like nothing would phase her. Things would come out and she's just calm and cool and collected, which is Hermione kind of, but a little high strung. Huh. I don't know who would be a good one though.
What, Rachel McAdams?
She'd be better than, she wouldn't be great Belle, I don't think, but I think she'd be better than Emma Watson. I'm thinking of who just played, why can't I think of her name? She's like my celebrity crush and I can't think of her name. She's a Mexican actress.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Cuban. Ana de Armas.
And they oh, the Cuban. Then she's Cuban. I thought she was
I
Mexican.
think she's Cuban. I'm not positive, but I think
I'm gonna
so.
look it up. I think she'd be a good Belle. She's my celebrity crush.
That's why.
So you're the Beast in this?
Cuban
or-
Spanish actress. You're right. Dang it. So I'm the Beast. I mean, you're
Wait.
talking about loving a unicorn, Jen. You think a centurion is hot?
If a centaur and a unicorn have a baby,
Ooh,
would it be just a human
With a
head
horn?
with a horn?
Oh gosh.
it'd be wild. I'm gonna end the stream because we are getting a little delirious right now.
Oh, I forgot we were
to
still
end it.
streaming.
Yeah, it's time. It's my bedtime.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks,
You guys are
guys.
the best. Have a great night.
Bye.
20 seconds of obligatory quiet before we end it. I'm gonna end the stream because we are getting delirious right now.
John, do you unplug these?
Yeah.
Unplug and wrap.